Just at the back couch, on the front couch, there's a whole ton of people. It's going to be a good show. So while they're setting up, I'm going to try and get through a few donations we've had during the interview and during previous games. Here we have a $10 donation from Christopher. Hey guys, love watching these every year. First time I've ever been able to actually donate to such a good cause. Let Spike Vegeta put this money to whatever he wants, as long as it's not related to a certain group of animals. We have a $50 donation from Zetris. I grew up playing this game. Me and my friends played almost every weekend. It is certainly one of the best co-op games of all time. Great to see it at AGDQ. All my money goes for Donatello, my childhood hero. We have a $15 donation from Link HS. First time donating. A huge thanks to all the runners and volunteers at the event, and I can't wait to see my first RPG, Kingdom Hearts, put through its paces. We have a $20 donation from Anonymous. Thanks to all the staff, runners, and donators for making this happen. It's my second year, and I'm enjoying it so much. It's so late in Germany, but I've got to be strong and continue watching. Have fun and enjoy the games, and greetings from Germany. Thanks. Here we have a $30 donation from Birthday Girl to my birthday. Hey, happy birthday. As you made me a wonderful gift with these Disney runs, I can't not make a donation. Here's to help fight cancer and kill the animals. Also like to remind you guys real quick, we have a ton of sponsors helping us here. People like the World 9 Gaming, the Yeti, MagFest, Tokyo Attack, Something Artistic, and of course, remind you that this stream is being powered by Twitch. And I'd just like to let everyone know who's donating that those songs that are being bidded for, the cutoff is going to be about 45 minutes into the run. So you don't have that much time to get your vote in. Make sure you get it in quick.
Yeah, I'm literally saying
All right, you guys excited to see some Kingdom Hearts?
You got this. Yep.
Can you hear us? Okay.
Hello.
Testing. Sick. All right. I'm just going to talk at this level. Is that fine? Okay. No. I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to act like rookies. Hello. Where is Cage, man? Is Sly here? Nope. All right. So I'm going to wait until Zetris is ready to go, but it's up to tech and everything. So.
What's up?
Sly is here.
Okay.
Hi, Sly.
Oh,
He's on the list? Okay.
Matt, can you move over a bit?
These chords are. This is good.
All right.
I do not see him on the list. I do not see him on the list.
Yeah. Nobody moves. It's a good thing we can see the game and do commentary. Okay. Yeah, I can skip.
Oh, man.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey, what's up, guys? And everyone at home goes, oh, why is he talking? All right, sick. So, I am Spike the Cheetah, and it doesn't really matter because we want to just flex our muscles as the Kingdom Hearts speedrunning community. A few years ago, there was literally 3 of us, and now there are like 80 of us, and like 40 of us showed up. So, I'm literally just gonna talk. We have here with us today the Kingdom Hearts 1.5 proud world record holder and the runner of that very category right here, Zetris. We have the Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. No clapping in between. It'll take 40 minutes. Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix Level 1 World Record holder sitting to his left, Biscuit047. We've got the Kingdom Hearts 1.5 Beginner World Record holder, Bloody Biscuits, right here in the sexy flannel. We've got the Mistmaster 1, a prominent Kingdom Hearts 1.5 runner on the couch. Terizzle, Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix Beginner World Record holder, also on the couch. We have me, that guy. We also have, let me step to the side. We have Asa, Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix runner / core skip finder, saved like an hour, it was crazy. Cyberman 6, Kingdom Hearts level 1, or Kingdom Hearts 1.5 and Cage 2 level 1. 7-7 Remix, Cage 2 beginner runner. We have the Cage 1.5 runner MIE Dax, also Sonic Boom runner from SGDQ. Kingdom Hearts 1.5 runner Rebel Watt. Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix runner, Yulf. Kingdom Hearts 1.5 runner, Super Laser Dino. Kingdom Hearts 1.5 runner, That White Kid. Yep, that's his name. Kingdom Hearts 2 runner, and also runner of Jack 3 later in the marathon, The Rixer. Kingdom Hearts 1.5 runner, Eros. Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix runner, Santana. Kingdom Hearts 1.5 runner, Skate for a Living. All right, I said it right. Kingdom Hearts 1 original runner, Tojimaru. Kingdom Hearts 1.5 runner, Ya Boy Be True. Kingdom Hearts 1.5 runner, Gogolabesh. Kingdom Hearts 1.5 level 1 runner, DJ Salty Nuts. Yep. Kingdom Hearts 3D runner, Adam TBA. Kingdom Hearts 1.5 runner, Mysora 99. BBS runner, or Birth by Sleep runner, Sly 1020. Kingdom Hearts 1.5 runner, Bubbles Del Fuego. Kingdom Hearts 2 English runner, Headstrong. One of the OG 3 runners with myself and Axel Ryman, Puexel sitting over here to my left. We got Hikage, the Kingdom Hearts 2 FM runner, you're the only one. And a KH2 FM runner, Charles, because we grandfathered you in. That's everybody here, and we probably missed some. We are loud, we're proud. Thank you for giving us our 3rd straight GDQ appearance. We said this because this cutscene's unskippable, and me talking over it probably means we won't get copyright, and that'd be great. A couple people just real quick to give shout-outs to that couldn't make it. People like Jay Hobbs, Liquid Wi-Fi, Shivmeister222, Pain647, Saiyans, and Sonic Shadow Silver 2. You guys are awesome. We love you all. We're proud to be here. Thank you.
Alright, so this is Kingdom Hearts 1.5. It is also which is also known as the re-release of the PS2 version of Kingdom Hearts Final Mix in HD for the PS3.
This is the hardest difficulty Proud Mode that was introduced in 1FM on PS2. It was not an original KH1, so we are doing this on the hardest difficulty. And this is essentially the tutorial of the game, but this actually impacts us very importantly. He's picking the sword right now. We have the sword, staff, and shield to choose from. We picked this sword because it gives us more strength earlier on to plow through the fights. And now he's going to give up the staff because we don't need the AP, and we do want the defense from the shield. Also noteworthy is that whatever you choose affects what abilities you learn in what order. So it is also important that we learn certain abilities at certain times to make some fights easier. So right now the game is basically just trying to get you familiar with combat. There's unfortunately no way to skip it, but it's relatively short.
These are the Shadows Heartless. You'll learn to hate them.
Yes, they definitely go underground more often than not whenever you're trying to attack them. You'll see that in the next fight. Something that's interesting about these cutscene skips is some of them we can't skip right away, and then some of them we can. It's really kind of like you have to have a feel for it and learn it. There's no like really obvious time you can skip a cutscene. It's just a little bit awkward because some of them we can skip immediately, and then others we have to wait like 5 seconds before we can skip it. So, as you might already be able to tell, air combos are much faster than ground combos, but air combos in this game are pretty difficult to consistently land, as a lot of casual players will probably have remembered.
Now what he's doing here is he is prompted with 3 choices per FF character right here, and depending on how he answers them will affect how he gains EXP throughout the run. There is dawn, there's midday, and there's also night. We go for the dawn route because we need EXP as quick as possible to make the beginning game much better.
Zetris, why are you playing on Japanese?
The Japanese version saves about 50 seconds over the English version just due to text box speed.
Yeah, unlike KH2, we can't skip the text boxes, so we have to just mash through them, and it's a little bit faster on JP. That's generally the only reason.
Nice.
So now we're heading up to what would be considered the first boss of the game, but we're going to be doing something interesting that not many people know about in the fight. Also, shout-outs to blind camera strats.
Yeah, they do.
This is pretty exclusive to Zetris.
So now you really see on Proud how much damage we take from strong attacks.
Yeah, so the game doesn't require you to beat this fight. You can actually just die to it, and on Proud, that's the fastest way to progress.
Yeah, we do death abuse a few times in the run, but that's about it. Some fights do let you die to progress.
And here comes another Zetris exclusive where he does day one without changing the camera.
This is actually impressive.
Yeah, it is. No pressure.
Glad we're building it up.
You'll see, it's really cool.
I mean, something that's very noteworthy about the platforming is, unlike KH2, in this one, there's a lot of platforming tech, and you're going to see it in about a second, where we can kind of skip some movement.
Told you.
So basically there, he just jumped and attacked to gain height and land on that platform. And just there as well to gain more momentum so that he can make that jump. He's basically going around the island collecting items to progress this. This is somewhat part of the tutorial, but it's not really teaching you anything right now.
So as we're finishing up day one and moving into day two while we move through the load screens, I just want to remind you guys that yes, once again, we are singing Disney songs. We're actually compacting them into one section of the run. It will end when we defeat, hopefully we defeat at some point, I guess. We're not going to guarantee. Clayton in Deep Jungle. That'll be about 45 minutes into the run. And between then and about the hour 25-minute mark, we're actually going to sing the top 5 Disney songs for you guys. It's actually a battle between like 3rd through 6th, particularly stuff like Go the Distance, A Whole New World, Under the Sea, and Let It Go. So make sure to get in your donations. The top 5 will be sung because you guys were so generous and we raised so much money from it. Those songs will be sung by, sitting right here, Bloody Biscuits, myself, Zem, who is a trained opera singer, by the way, so yes, and fan favorite, Kung Fu Fruit Cup. So make sure you get in those donations for whatever you guys want to see. We want to hear A Whole New World. I'm just throwing that out there.
So this begins day 2 of Destiny Islands. There's only 2 days. And it's basically collecting stuff again, but there's a little bit more to it. And you'll see that pretty soon. So right now, he's collecting 3 fish, but something that's interesting, and the game doesn't really tell you this, is that there's 2 areas here, and you can get the fish in both areas, and that's the same with some other items we have to grab here. And we basically just do whatever's faster.
For now, we have time for like 1 donation, probably.
Probably a few.
Sure, we've got quite a few donations from, I'm assuming, other Kingdom Hearts runners. We've got a $20 donation from Aaron Reading. Wish I could donate more, but I'm glad to put my money to such a good cause and during such a wonderful run. The KH community has been like a family to me for a long time now, and this is an amazing chance for everyone in attendance. We're all rooting for you back home, Zetris. Put this towards Zetris' choice. We've also got a $20 donation from Payne975. Shout out from the boys on TeamSpeak. Good luck on the run, Zetris. You got this. P.S. I love you. Be true.
Okay, so now begins a race that we have to do against Riku to progress the story. And a lot of people casually will have trouble either winning this or like barely being able to make it. The funny thing,
I never beat him as a kid.
yeah. Well, the funny thing is, it's actually possible to do it so fast that you don't even save any like time, because it only ends when Riku gets to a certain point. But we do want to win because we get an item that we are going to eventually sell for money. And there are multiple paths we can take. He can go to the right there around the beach, but this is the fastest, and the faster we get there, the more of a chance we have of ending it on time.
Oh.
Uh-oh. That's classic platforming in KH1.
That is the prime example of platforming in this game.
All right, we got that out of the way. We don't need any more of that. We've demonstrated it.
That was a little scary.
Yeah, if he were to try to jump there, he probably would have fallen off, and that would have lost us either the race or some time.
But you can tell by the slight delay in the fade out there that he didn't really lose any time there from the trees throwing him over.
So now basically in this room we're going to be collecting whatever else we need because we already got everything in the previous area. And 2 of those items are going to be golden coconuts, and they are random when they fall. Right now we would be considering this pretty bad luck.
Yeah.
But it is actually possible to have to go to another tree to get it, because they eventually run out.
So I had to talk to Kyrie there so she gives you the water bottle that you have to fill here. You can't do this without talking to her first.
You also can't collect any items during the Riku race.
So now he has completed Destiny Islands day 2. So now we pretty much just have a boss to go through, but there's a little bit of downtime if there's donations to be read.
Sure, we've got a bunch. We have a $100 donation from A Lost Eternity. Darn you people for scheduling so many good runs. How will I stay awake for an entire week? We have another $100 donation from Anonymous. Thanks for the stream, guys. Kingdom Hearts is awesome. Let's save the animals. It's what Kyrie would want.
Riz, how many cutscenes is this in a row?
I don't even remember. It's like 7. You couldn't just skip them all at once. You have to do them individually.
I guess it's worth noting that this is the only version of KH1 where we can skip the cutscenes right away. In KH1 original, there was no cutscene skip, so the run's like 5 hours and something. And then in 1FM, it does have cutscene skip, but only if you die to a fight before the cutscene once, which doesn't help the run at all. So this is the fastest KH1.
Yeah, not actually every single cutscene is skippable. As you saw, the opening cutscene was not, and there are actually 3 others later in the run that we won't be able to skip, but we'll get to those later. So.
Fortunately, they're not nearly as long. Something that's interesting about this run is we don't really go out of our way to grind at all in this run. So right there, he could have been killing shadows to level up and make Darkseid a little bit easier or safer, but there's really no need, so we just skip all those. And we do that through a majority of the run.
Make me proud, Zetris.
I'll try.
So he's coming up on the Darkseid 2 fight, and it's a little tricky to do this fight fast. He's going to be trying to parry these lasers back into the arm for more damage. And it's very dangerous because you get 2-shotted by them in this.
Yes.
So he's getting this like
Terizzle
perfectly.
here on the couch actually came up with this strat.
As you can see, 2 shots will kill you.
Mm-hmm.
That was really good.
If he's able to kill him right here,
Oh,
So close.
damn.
There you go.
Yeah, still very good. And a lot of it still comes down to the nice thing about running like KH2 and compared to KH1 is that there are no crits in KH2. Here, crits obviously can play a part in whether you get that quick kill or not, because Zetris executed it about as well as he could.
Yeah. And so it's a little bit of randomness there. You made me proud, buddy. Yes.
So now we're here in Traverse Town, and this is our, unfortunately we come here like a few times in the run, but this is our first visit here.
Don't say unfortunately. I like Traverse Town.
I mean,
Only
music's
one
great.
trip is bad.
True. But basically, casually, a lot of people will be wandering around this town for a while trying to figure out how to progress the story. But as it turns out, you only have to kill 5 shadows to be able to progress the story, and that's exactly what we're going to do.
Coincidentally, what Zetris would like to happen here is that he kills 5 shadows, but also takes a little bit of damage. Just because we're actually then going to take a death abuse to Leon or Squall afterwards. And he cannot one-shot you from full health. So that's why Zetris stopped and took that hit there.
I'll have to take another hit because I got pushed into a health orb, and that won't kill me in one hit.
Also, ideally, when the Leon fight starts, you want him to shoot a fireball at you. It's completely random whether he will either shoot a fireball or jump. And if he does jump, then you have to do a slower backup strat.
Yes, and if we actually won the fight, we would get an elixir, but it's much slower and not very safe. He hits very hard.
Mm-hmm. We've also routed it out so that we get enough items that we need. Hey.
Hey, nice. Oddly enough, you saw Zetris had to move to the left there. If he didn't, Leon just whiffs from your standing still position.
He's going easy on you.
This right here, for whatever reason, it's a Final Mix exclusive cutscene, which I guess we'll talk a little bit about what Final Mix is. But for whatever reason, this just takes like 15 seconds to actually skip this cutscene.
Basically, when Riku opens his eyes, that's when you can skip it. We don't really know why they did that.
Right.
Something that's really interesting about items is we are able to get elixirs and even mega elixirs actually fairly early into this run. The one from Leon, if we were to win, isn't until the end of this world, but Zetris is about to grab one for free. That only wastes basically like 5 seconds.
Doesn't take very long at all.
All he has to do is talk to Yuffie once, and then free elixir that we will hold on to for a long time.
And coming up right here, he's going to menu in some potions. We don't have access to the cure spell, which we will receive after Deep Jungle, and they're also there to help set up for heals throughout basically the entirety of beginning game.
And
Yeah.
to note, Kairi gave you those potions when you gave her items.
Yeah, and the other potion came from the tutorial.
And while we're making our way over to Guard Armor, let's get in a quick donation. How about it?
Sure, we have a $250 donation from The Dark Drake. Aloha, everyone. Great marathon so far. Been looking forward to so many runs this year. This one being one of them. Hope you're doing fine. I wish all of the runners good luck on their runs, and greetings from Germany.
Thanks, Drake.
Thank you, Drake.
So this is kind of the first true boss coming up. But first we have to get through a mob fight with soldiers, and they are pretty annoying to connect combos on, and they have a move that makes them invincible. And they do have the ability to two-hit us, so we gotta be relatively careful in this fight. We also hope that our party members kill them, because good old Dolan's Fire one-shots them.
Yeah.
So Zetris didn't have to waste any items there, which is very good for guard armor.
So it's very important here that he gets both of these staggers on the Guard Armor, because if he staggers him both times correctly, it's actually 3 times, then he'll get a knockdown on him, and he'll be able to deal a lot of damage. If he underdamages him there, then that stagger that just happened does not happen. And you really want the knockdown.
All right then.
You
So
didn't get
that
the
made
doc
no
down there.
sense.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there.
You might have been a little bit late.
Yeah, it looked a little
The
bit
reason that he
slow.
didn't get that knockdown that time was because he killed the arm with the finisher, and when that happens, the finisher doesn't actually count, and that's kind of what the game uses to determine whether or not you get the knockdown. So because the finisher didn't count, he didn't get the knockdown, but it certainly looks like he's doing fine without it.
Yeah,
I don't wanna
fortunately he
speak
got
too
rid of
soon. Yeah, it
both
looks like
arms.
he's good.
Yeah, he adapted to it really well. The scary part is once you start breaking one of the arms, if you break both the arms or both the legs first, a lot of times he will separate the other limbs from his body. And then you've got two different enemies. He wasn't getting hit all throughout that fight because he's good, but it's whatever. But all of their attacks do like 80% of your health bar. So it's very scary being able to keep that camera in a position where you can constantly see them. This is the last fight where we don't have dodge roll, so he doesn't have a lot of dodging options. It's just timing and being aware of where they are.
I mean, your only real solace is to just jump right when he's about to land on you.
Yeah, so it was a pretty good traverse town visit. Not much went wrong at all. And now we're going to be coming up on a menu that is actually a little bit random because we want to pull items off our party members, but they do a good job of wasting them immediately in the fights quite often. So what we do, we want to get an ether from Goofy and then the potions from the rest, both of them. But sometimes they give us nothing.
Yeah, any of you have played this game, you probably remember that potions take a really long time to go off. So we only use them until we get Cure, which will be after the Clayton fight. But you know, depending on, and it, you know, no matter how skilled you are, sometimes you'll just get hit and you need those potions. So it's good to have a couple of safety backups right there.
So now we finally have our first instance of equipping an ability. Right there, he's equipping an accessory and dodge roll. And that's basically all we need to do there. But dodge roll is great because it's our current fastest movement, so we'll be using it constantly to move around.
I also put on an equipment Brave Warrior, which boosts our strength, and we'll definitely need that.
All right, so who wants to take the gummy mission, or what we're doing here in the gummy garage?
Mist can explain.
Okay, so initially you have this just regular ship right here, and what we're going to do is turn it into a tissue box. So, as such. And the reason for this is the initial gummy ship that you're given moves very slowly because of all the armor and stuff that you have on it. So by basically deleting the entire thing, just putting a cockpit, the engine, and the gun, which is all the real necessities you need, you move much, much faster throughout these gummy missions.
And it is actually worth entering that gummy menu to do all that. It will add up definitely over time.
It's worth it just on this first mission.
Yeah. And we even do it more than once too to go even faster later on. Like this is not as fast as it will go. But the other important thing is on Proud Mode, we can actually die extremely easy on these gummy missions. There are instances we can get one-shotted by walls or enemies from behind or strong enemies, or like two-shotted. So Zetris actually has to be very careful in these and make sure he dodges everything, which is why we equipped a gun. It's not like in Cage 2, the gummy missions, they all do the same damage on all difficulty, but on Proud, you do get hit harder in Cage 1.
And I'd say for the rest of the gummy mission as we go, let's go ahead and read a couple donations while we get into Wonderland.
Sure thing. We got $50 from Tyler H. Had to donate during the run of my favorite game of all time. Here's $50 towards what I expect to be an amazing rendition of A Whole New World. We have $55.55 from Steve246. It's going to be a long day here at the office, but thankfully we have the technology so that I can multitask and watch every bit of the KH run while I'm here. Good luck with the run and keep up the great work. Shout out to my main man, White Shad Zero. We have $20 from Kid Phoenix AU. Amazing seeing Kingdom Hearts being run again at an AGDQ. Such a great community running my favorite series of all time. Good luck, Zetris, on the run, and please put my money towards his choice.
Okay, so this is Wonderland, and we only do 2 fights here. But they are both boss fights and can kill us pretty easy. But the first thing we have to do to trigger the first fight is to grab evidence around the world. But fortunately, you technically only have to grab one of them to progress, so that's exactly what we do.
Yeah, a big difference between Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2, how they force the mob fights. Kingdom Hearts 2 just straight force the mob fights. You cannot progress through the game without defeating them. The way they tried to force it in Kingdom Hearts 1 is that you could not collect key items or select key ways to just progress through the level until you cleared out all the enemies on screen. You see right now he has a blue command bar, or he did just a second ago. When enemies pop up, that becomes red, and you can't select anything, open any chests while that's open. We're actually going to despawn them through a trick here. We're just going to roll in a somewhat straight line. You have to make sure you don't curve too far out or he'll spawn more Heartless. But get up to the top of these mushrooms, and then that will get rid of the Heartless, hopefully. Sometimes they control.
If you did not get the ether from Goofy here, you would use the Blue Trinity here to get one for free. It just wastes about 10 seconds, so since Zetris already has one, he doesn't need to use it. Something that's pretty noteworthy is that if we did collect all the evidence, we would get Blizzard early. However, it is very much not worth it in a run to grab it. The benefits do not speed up the run at all. So we get it automatically after Trickmaster. And a weird mechanic here is the box that fell first, if you caught it, is the one with the soldier. And Zetris got it.
Cool.
All right, so the way that the Crank Tower fight's going to work right here is it doesn't have normal health as you'd expect. Usually all you have to do is hit an enemy and their health will reduce. But in this situation, if you do 2 quick up combos, the health will actually not reduce as quickly as it could be. So what you try and do is you try and slow down your combos as much as possible while not getting hit by the card soldiers at the same time.
That was
very
really
nice.
good.
What he's attempting to do right here is to try to dodge roll away from all the money that spills from the tower, because when your party members are collecting it, it actually wants to add it all up before it advances to the cutscene. They were being a little stingy there.
And
Yeah, oh, sorry, go ahead, Biz.
we could have trapped them in that fight so that they didn't interfere with the money, but it is much safer to have them out of fighting the cards with you and pushing them out of the way.
Also, just to note, there are much safer strats you can try to do. You can actually try to fire the black cards or use fire on them to knock them out. You can actually go up and hit the queen. Probably a lot of people didn't know that, and you could have drawn the red cards away from them. But Zetris is a man, so he didn't need to.
Also, this is a free elixir we can grab. You just talk to the sign twice in that chair in the corner, and then there's an elixir. That's our second elixir in the run.
It used to be we would skip that elixir, but because of this idiot right here finding a strat on Maleficent, we decided that the 10 seconds was worth it to grab it. Elixirs are just really valuable in the late game. And I love you.
A little bit of interesting tech here. We're actually skipping enemies by moving around the area very specifically, because only certain parts of the area will spawn enemies. So right here, he's going to make a jump where he doesn't touch the ground, because if you touch the ground, he will spawn enemies. So he has to do this pretty specifically, or else he won't be able to use that reaction command. So now he just successfully skipped, basically, a fight that normally would be forced.
And now it's time for everyone's favorite fight.
Hey, Miss, do you want to describe why this fight is great?
I don't think I can put it into words.
Maybe we can just leave. Actually, I'm wondering if we
It
just
speaks
leave it
for
at
itself.
that and let them.
It
let him
speaks
do
for
the fight.
itself. You'll see.
Unless he does it like absolutely perfectly, then he'll make it.
Zetris is bad about that, so.
It's too good.
The The mechanics of this fight is very bizarre. You have to knock him down to deal a ton of free damage, but it's pretty difficult to get these hits on him. Of course, Zetris is having no problem.
Any of you who have played this game, platforming is really hard.
Yeah.
And hitting this guy is harder.
Getting on that chair like consistently like that really fast, it's much harder than it looks.
You can just jump straight over it so easily.
Yes. You kind of have to like sandbag the jump to make it on there, which is really weird.
You need to find like that perfect jump that just makes it without going over.
Interestingly, he lit the fire stick with the fire at the beginning, and that's actually intentional for Zetris because it messes with the AI so that he goes to the stove or the oven or whatever it is much later in the fight, and hopefully he can kill Trickmaster before that.
You took the table, wow.
I eat on that. Sure. Okay, he's going to the stove now. But he should be pretty close to death.
Yeah, he's probably dead now.
Will the fire do it?
Yeah! That was an excellent fight.
He didn't do a good job of showing how terrible that fight actually is. It's so easy to whiff and parry, and all your attacks will just go out the window, but he landed most of them, no problem.
Zetris, please stop being so good.
I'll try.
Just to note, if you guys like comedy runs, the rest of us stream. I prominently run this category, so if you really like to laugh, you can watch me do that fight. So.
I think we got a bit of downtime for donations here on the next.
Yeah, we've actually got a little bit longer little gummy mission, so go for it.
Do you want to plug the incentive?
Oh, yeah, so this is our last world before the Disney song cutoffs will be. And actually, Annihilator, do you want to give an update on just what the standings are? Again, we're going to do the top 5 of the 7 songs we selected. And they will be going on pretty much after we're done with this fight. Or we're done with this world, which is probably going to be about 14 minutes from now, I'm going to guess. So.
Yeah, definitely. I'll Make a Man Out of You has jumped even further in the lead with $2,200.
Whoa.
Wow.
Gaston is at $1,400. A Whole New World is at $1,300, so that made a huge jump. Go the Distance at $1,000. Under the Sea at $600. Let It Go at $594. And I See the Light has $50. So if you are...
I just want to say, I See the Light is like one of the best Disney songs that y'all don't know what it is. It's from Tangled, it's good, it's whatever, but it's fine.
It's fine.
So again, yeah, as you saw there, there's like $6 in difference between 5th and 6th place. So yeah, like get your dollars in if you want to see them or if you want to hear them. I guess you'll see them and hear them. Read donations. Maybe let me shut up.
All right. I've got $100 from Anonymous who says, my mother got cancer. Nothing you hope anyone will get. Here's something trying to prevent other mothers from getting cancer. We have $10 from Oriol Ruiz Salada. I probably butchered that. Sorry, my bad. I start exams in 2 days, but AGDQ is taking all my time. You guys are the best. Keep up with the hard work. We have $20 from Sora Kirby. Had to donate. Kingdom Hearts is my favorite game series of all time. Very happy to see it getting played by the world record holder himself. I'm looking forward to hearing you all make a man out of us and kill those animals.
Alright, so Deep Jungle is quite a world. Quite a lot happens here. Casually, a lot of people have gotten lost here incredibly easily because the game doesn't really tell you exactly where to go, but it's a pretty big world and there's a lot of like going around the area. But interestingly enough, we're thrown right into a fight as soon as we skip this first cutscene. But as it turns out, it's another one of those fights we actually don't have to win.
It's actually the last of the 3 fights where we can take a death and progress the story.
Also, coincidentally about this world is we will be saving animals. We'll be saving the gorillas.
Bad kitty.
If you're lucky, he will do 3 swipes fast, and that's that, but sometimes he does that as well.
Yo, Biz, did you call it a he?
Did I? I don't know. I
think
call it
I
a
called
tiger.
it a he
so
last night, so
The
I
journal,
listen
the
to
journal
that, but
calls
whatever.
Sabor he.
Sabor the tiger.
According to the game, I don't know. In the journal.
Oh, we got a menu here where he puts on Ifrit's horn for more strength, slide dash, and then he basically makes Tarzan a heal bot and gives him critical plus abilities, and then steals all of Tarzan's potions. Because they're not going to put them to good use. We're smarter with them.
Tarzan has a lot of MP-based abilities that you really don't want him to use. You just want him to be there in the instance you get hit really hard, and that way you can just sort of,
To also
Get
make
back into
Zetris
it.
sound. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's
I'm
okay.
pretty sure you were saying this. Go for it.
just so you can get back in the fight without having to like run away and use a potion, since we don't have access to cure yet. Cure is going to allow us to recover our health much more quickly.
I don't know if we mentioned this yet, but we actually skip a world early on in this game, which is Olympus. On regular Proud, we don't have to go there. All we would get is basically just the Thunder Spell, and we don't really need it. Even though it would help speed up this world, it takes too long to get. So the game was nice and gave us the option of skipping that world, so we don't go there at all.
Also, just to make Zetris sound even cooler, so you might have noticed he was going through that menu really fast. That's actually really hard to do in this game. Unlike some of the other games, the Cage series, like Cage 2 FM we've played, there is natural lag in the menus. So the fact that he was going that fast with that lag, you have to have done these many hundreds and even thousands of times to be that adept at moving that quickly through them without dropping any inputs or doing things you don't want to do.
Also, he just grabbed an item from that chest, and it's basically just to sell it. We're going to need a certain amount of money coming up soon, so anything we're grabbing out of chest in this world is only to sell. We're coming up on movement tech that we call Hippo Hop.
Well, I call hipster hop. I don't know about you.
Either way. So
Very nice.
he had to be fast there to make that cycle too, because once that hippo starts going in the water, you can't land on it.
Yeah, you have to wait for it to resurface, and that does take a considerable amount of time.
So it's pretty precise to make that.
I think this is another good place to read off one or two donations while we're basically from here, we're just moving around triggering story elements.
Okay. We have $50 from Volknut205. How can anyone resist giving money to a great cause? A whole new world without cancer awaits. We have $45 from Niels Neutron. On a 24-hour shift, the KH run is really making my time go a lot faster. Here's also some money towards a good cause. Good luck and have fun throughout the run.
And again, you guys only have maybe less than 10 minutes at this point. We're going to cut it off and take the top 5 songs after we kill Clayton. So make sure you get your donations in, and then we'll be singing them shortly after that.
By the way, yes, you can quit out of that minigame in this version and skip it, which a lot of
You can
people
quit
don't
out
know.
in all versions, actually.
Oh, can you?
Yeah.
People don't know it.
Nobody would ever try.
Yeah. You would think it would
So
send you
weird.
back. But
Yeah, no, it just...
We're coming up on Power Wild fights right now, and they are one of the most obnoxious enemies to try to land combos on, and it will speak for itself.
Oh, they were
Oh, that was a
really
good
great.
start.
That was
Oh,
amazing.
even better finish. Even better finish.
So how they're grouped at the start of that fight is completely random. They can be all around you and stuff. It's really bad. If you watch the cutscene, actually, which is kind of a short one, they all end up in the same spot. And so the fact that he got that good of a fight without watching the cutscene is amazing.
We are going this path now because it's slightly faster, and there's also a save point there to get MP back, because as you just saw, Blizzard is very strong against them, but we only have 2 bars right now, so we don't have the ability to just spam it.
Yeah, that's one of the minuses of taking the sword route as opposed to the staff route, which we do in a lot of the other categories in this game.
That was good.
Yeah, that was a pretty smooth fight.
Donald and Tarzan, both their hits were actually pretty crucial to keeping them still and killing them. So good job to them.
Yeah, we bring Dolan because his magic's pretty helpful here.
And that's where we finally use the ether that we stole from Goofy early in the run. Again, Blizzard is just very powerful for these Power Wild fights.
And this is, in my opinion, the worst Power World fight, because they can be anywhere in here. And you want them to line up so that the Blizzard, being like a shotgun spell, kind of just gets rid of them immediately.
Wow,
Zetris
that was really good.
These are some
Acing
good
these
power
fights.
wilds, man. These are really good so far.
What's really cool about this run is having to, I actually love the Power Wild segment because you're always adapting to, I promise I do, you're always adapting to what they're doing. You have to read their movements really well in order to go fast in any situation. You can also just get lucky, but
That's what I try to do.
So Zetris had to bail there because he could have been two-shotted really easily by their jump attack.
also Sora's dance move there, that sliding dash. That's the first time you guys had seen it there. That's a Final Mix exclusive ability, not a part of Kingdom Hearts 1.
The downside is once you start to slide, you're at a fixed angle, so you really have to be precise with it. And these guys, as you can see, they're walking around and everything, so it's and jumping, so it's really hard to land slide dashes on them.
Oh.
Wow.
Those were great power
amazing.
wilds.
Excellent.
Those were really good power wilds.
Not bad, not bad.
Usually they go worse. Yeah, we got Sabor once again, but this time we have to win. And there's a pretty interesting strat where we actually are going to corner him and try to combo him to death with our party members, because they are pretty strong too right now. If it works, we'll knock him down and corner him, but sometimes he can get away. And we want to keep him away from the bamboo, because he can jump into the bamboo and waste time.
So shout out to J-Hops for finding the strat and testing it meticulously. Okay.
This is risky.
Yeah.
At this point, he's also mashing triangle because it alerts your party members. Tarzan and Donald are actually doing a lot of damage to him right now.
There we
Okay,
go.
good recovery. That was a very good recovery.
That was very scary.
Yeah. I knew I could have backed out and healed, but that was like my one chance to get it going. So
To knock him down, we need a finisher, basically, and it doesn't come out fast. It's actually very incredibly hard to land those air combos on Sabor. He's so low to the ground, it's easy to drop it into a ground finisher, and then they won't go off in time before he doesn't attack. So
I'm sure there's a lot of people at home are probably thinking, oh, a lot of this is just like jumping and attacking. Jumping and attacking is actually, like to this level, is actually really hard to do in this game. You have to be very quick with your mashing. A lot of it is short combos. If you're not mashing hard enough, you will land and cancel out your attack, and that's very slow. So you have to definitely have a very good mashing position.
So right,
Ooh, frame perfect.
yes, nice. So right there, he equipped the White Fang that you got from Sabor. That increases your strength, defense, and AP, and he also equipped the scan ability. So now he'll be able to see enemy health.
except for this thing,
Except,
for some
well,
reason.
it doesn't have health. It's just a hit counter.
Yeah, it takes 15 hits to kill this thing.
If any Sora's hits, finishers
Yeah.
don't matter or anything. It's just 15.
Yeah, doesn't matter if Tarzan or Donald hit it either. It's just 15 hits with the Keyblade.
Fortunately, it's a relatively safe fight because your party members will keep away the Power Wilds. We usually would only get hit once, if anything.
All right, so this is the last fight. As soon as this guy's dead, we're taking the top 5 songs. So be ready on the refresh, and then we will get that started pretty soon.
So we're coming up on a fight that many people casually just cannot stand. It is incredibly difficult, and the one spell we would want to use, which is Cure, we don't get until right after the fight. So we basically have to deal with a boss that 2 hits us, and we have to deal with Clayton's Stealth Sneak that is also in the fight, and we separate them. So we basically have 2 bosses attacking us at roughly the same time. This first one's kind of just a filler fight where we want to get his HP down enough to progress it, but we have to watch out for those Power Wilds. Zetris is going to do very specific combos here. You only have to do a certain amount of combos to basically make Stealth Sneak appear, and then we're going to try to separate them. Because that's the only way to damage Clayton. Because killing Stealth Sneak is optional, believe it or not.
At this point, short jump combos are very important. If he's a little slow, that's going to give Stealth Sneak time to get back up and two-shot you. Unfortunately, you're dealing with a terrible terrain, and Clayton should probably play for the NBA. His jump shot is really good.
You got caught on a vine. Yeah, the terrain there is really obnoxious.
Yeah, what actually happens is those slides that are only available in that fight will actually sort of magnetize Sora to them. So if you're going to swing or do something else, it will just make you slide down them and basically cause you to die. I think Mist had one situation in the history of 1.5 speedrunning where it helped him.
Interestingly, we can actually leave this first fight. The game actually lets you walk away from Clayton for some unknown, bogus reason. And there's a few fights. Sabor that we just beat is another fight we could have walked away from.
But you can't progress the game when you do that. You still have to beat him eventually.
So to note, that health will carry over.
Yeah, I could die right here.
That's not hitting him because dodge roll does get a lot of invincibility frames. And at this point, the damage doesn't matter because you're not trying to kill Stealth Sneak. He just has to wait for a visual cue, then get him stuck back in this corner just to try to keep Stealth Sneak as far away as possible. Unfortunately, you can whiff a lot of hits, not really because of yourself, just because the terrain's terrible and Clayton has a small hitbox.
So we're trying to carry Clayton away from Stealth Sneak to avoid those lasers because they will not track you well all the way down here.
Again, just look at how close Sora's feet are to the ground. He's giving as tiny a hops as possible. Nice.
All right, and with that, the Disney Song Bidding War is closed. Up first, with $2,282, we have I'll Make a Man Out of You. With $1,535, we have Gaston. With $1,462, we have A Whole New World. With $1,269, we have Let It Go. And our fifth song, with $1,102, we have Go the Distance.
All five over 1,000. That's crazy.
That's amazing.
So thank you guys very much for your donations and look forward to the songs.
I want to mention here that this is a pretty tricky place to go through fast. It's a lot of ledges that are difficult to grab and jump over and such. So Zetris aced that no problem. You can go different routes up there, but the one we chose is to grab more items to sell.
All right, so from here it's just kind of, we decided to do this. We actually have a little bit of time to talk about it. Just, we decided to do this because this is definitely the slowest segment of their own. There are a couple of things we'll explain when we go back to Traverse Town 2, but there aren't really any boss fights or anything. So we decided to serenade you guys once again with Disney songs. Up first, we're going to have Bloody Biscuits doing I'll Make a Man Out of You, coming in first place.
How you guys doing? You guys ready?
Yeah.
Let's get down to business to defeat the Huns. Didn't they send me daughters when I asked for sons? You're the saddest bunch I've ever met, but you can bet before we're through, Mister, I'll make a man out of you. Tranquil as a forest, but on fire within. Once you find your center, you are sure to win. You're a spineless, pale, pathetic lot, and you haven't got a clue. Somehow I'll make a man out of you.
Be a man.
I'm never gonna catch my breath. Say goodbye to those who knew me. Boy, was I a fool in school for cutting gym. This guy's got him scared to death. Hope he doesn't see right through me. Man, I really wish that I knew how to swim. Be a man. You must be swift as a coursing river.
Be a man.
With all the strength of a great typhoon. With all the force of a raging fire. Mysterious as the dark side of the moon. Time is racing toward us until the Huns arrive. Heed my every order, and you might survive. You're unsuited for the rage of war, so pack up, go home, you're through. How could I make a man out of you? Be a man, you must be swift as a coursing river.
Be a man.
With all the force of a great typhoon.
Be a man.
With all the strength of a raging fire. Mysterious as the dark side of the moon. Be a man, you must be swift as a coursing river.
Be a man.
With all the strength of a great typhoon.
Be a man.
With all the force of a raging fire. Mysterious as the dark side of the moon. Ha!
Look deeply into them, Spike. Look me in the eyes.
Oh, it will be. I can't look. I get terrified of crabs. No, okay. Boom. All right, so that was awesome. What? Oh, okay, sick. You're good. No, we're good. We got time. We're not fine. All right, so this is another gummy mission. We're going to sing again. All right, we're doing these two back to back, but we'll break up the others. So, this is Gaston, coming in second place from Beauty and the Beast. Gaston, being played by Zem, and LeFou, I was trying to remember his name, from me. Okay.
Who does she think she is? That girl has tangled with the wrong man.
Yeah, darn right.
No one says no to Gaston. Dismissed, rejected, publicly humiliated. Why, it's more than I can bear.
More beer?
What for? Nothing helps. I'm disgraced.
Who? You? Never. Gaston, you've got to pull yourself together. What? You want me to say something? Okay. Gosh, it disturbs me to see you, Gaston, looking so down in the dumps. Every guy here'd love to be you, Gaston, even when taking your lumps. There's no man in town as admired as you. You're everyone's favorite guy. Everyone's awed and inspired by you, and it's not very hard to see why. I got a tweet. No one's slick as Gaston. No one's quick as Gaston. No one's neck is incredibly thick as Gaston. For there's no man in town half as manly. Perfect, a pure paragon. You can ask any Tom, Dick, or Stanley, and they'll tell you whose team they prefer to be on. No one's been like Gaston, a kingpin like Gaston. No one's got a swole cleft in his chin like Gaston.
As a specimen, yes, I'm intimidating.
My, what a guy, Gaston. Give 5 hurrahs, give 12 hip hips. Gaston is the best. I'm reading all the other parts. Gaston is the best, and the rest is all drips. No one fights like Gaston, douses lights like Gaston. In a wrestling match, nobody bites like Gaston. For there's no one as burly and brawny.
As you can see, I've got biceps to spare.
Not a bit of him scraggly or scrawny.
That's right, and every last inch of me's covered in hair.
No one hits like Gaston, matches wits like Gaston. In a spitting match, nobody spits like Gaston.
I'm especially good at expectorating.
10 points, good deal. All right.
When I was a lad, I ate 4 dozen eggs every morning to help me get large. And now that I've grown, I eat 5 dozen eggs, so I'm roughly the size of a barge.
My, what a guy, Gaston. No one shoots like Gaston, make those buttes like this. What are these words? I don't know. Then goes tramping around wearing boots like Gaston.
I use antlers in all of my decorating.
My, what a guy, Gaston. Segment. Well, right now they're selling.
Yes, we are selling a bunch of stuff that we don't need that we picked up so that we can afford faster gummy parts at the end of this world.
All right. So next up, let's wait a second. At this point, let's get through. I think we should do Merlin's, and then we'll do songs 3 and 4. Is what we'll do. Sure. Sounds great. You can read a donation.
I don't know how I can read after that. I can't.
Dude, I had to sing with it next to it, so it's fine.
All right, so we have a $200 donation from Principia. Love Kingdom Hearts, so happy to see it at AGDQ. Let It Go needs to get drowned under the sea. Cancer takes too many awesome people away from the world. Thanks for helping out.
These rocks are random. They're stupid.
Not fun to fall in the water there.
Oh, you fall in the water, you use a lot of time because you have to backtrack to the entrance.
And, big surprise, swimming's not really fast.
Mm-hmm.
They really did it.
We saw this coming.
So we're just here for story reasons, really. We have to give Merlin an item that Sid gave us.
Right. The biggest thing that we're getting, is just Simba. A very powerful summon that probably a lot of people didn't understand how he worked. There's a lot of mechanics in this game that people just didn't really understand playing through it
explained
casually.
anywhere.
But you will get to see the power of Simba in this run, I promise you.
And basically, almost all summons are used in this run except for, I believe, 2. And a lot of people, like you said, casually don't even really use summons because they won't use them at proper times or they don't understand what they do. Because, to be honest, Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 don't really explain to you what the summons really do. You don't really find out until you use them yourself. So because of that, a lot of people casually won't use them, but in speedrunning, they're actually incredibly useful on a number of fights, and you will see exactly why eventually.
Zetris also stepped on that save point very purposefully because in order to activate a save point so that you can warp to it later, you need to step on it. And he's actually going to do that when later on he gets the summon Dumbo. So that was the reason for that.
And while we were singing, I guess the biggest thing to note is that the upcoming shopping trip is actually the only shopping trip in the game. We are going to be selling 4 things in order to get to 1,250 money, which he already sold back there. But then we're just buying 2 gummy pieces just to make that faster. Nothing else is worth it to buy throughout the run, actually. We're just going to work with what the game naturally gives us in the way of, obviously, weapons and accessories. We don't bother getting anything for Donald and Goofy.
Something of note here is that there is a boss we can fight right now called Opposite Armor, and the game kind of wants you to, but you can actually just kind of peace out right now, so that's what we're going to do and come back later for it.
So Riz here actually, so what you're giving up throughout the middle section of the run is arrow, which any of you who haven't played it, arrow basically just increases your defense. So anything that 2 shots you, now 4 shots you, and so on and so forth. Actually in Proud, it's pretty much just 2 to 4. But yeah, Riz actually has been routing out a route that gets arrow because the mid game is very frustrating. A lot of things can be out of your control and kill you. But yeah, the optimal route is without a doubt skipping Opposite Armor right now, not having arrow, which just makes the entire mid game in Proud mode very, very scary. And here's him getting the Fyra and the Haste Gummies. The Haste Gummy effectively is going to make the Gummy ship even more like Star Fox 64. It's just going to have a short boost.
So right there, he bought the Fyra G and Haste G, which we will immediately equip for a faster Gummy ship as soon as we leave this world right now.
All right, and with that, we are in another Gummy mission. He's going to go ahead and equip those. You'll be able to notice how much faster he's going. But next up, we have Kung Fu Fruit Cup. Thank you for joining us, love. And hey, what's up? And we will be doing Let It Go.
Hello. All right. I can't say I'll be as entertaining as those two were because, oh my God, that was so funny.
You only have to sing better than me, so it's fine.
Okie dokie. I'm sure you may have heard, but this is Let It Go. The snow glows white on the mountain tonight, not a footprint to be seen. A kingdom of isolation, and it looks like I'm the queen. The wind is howling like this swirling storm inside. Couldn't keep it in, heaven knows I tried. Don't let them in, don't let them see. Be the good girl you always have to be. Conceal, don't feel, don't let them know. Well, now they know. Let it go, let it go. Can't hold back anymore. Let it go, let it go. Turn away and slam the door. I don't care what they're going to say. Let the storm rage on. The cold never bothered me anyway. It's funny how some distance makes everything seem small. The fears that once controlled me can't get to me at all. It's time to see what I can do to test the limits and break through. No right, no wrong, no rules for me. I'm free. Let it go, let it go. I am one with the wind and sky. Let it go, let it go. You'll never see me cry. Here I stand, and here I'll stay. Let the storm rage on. My power flurries through the air into the ground. My soul is spiraling in frozen fractals all around. And one thought crystallizes like an icy blast. I'm never going back. The past is in the past. Let it go, let it go. I'll rise like the break of dawn. Let it go, let it go. That perfect girl is gone. Here I stand in the light of day. Let the storm rage on. The cold never bothered me anyway.
All right, so here we are in Agrabah. I think all of us that collectively run this agree that this is the worst world in the run. Every single fight can go very poorly and either kill us or just waste a ton of time. We basically just don't have a lot of control. And the very first fight he's going to do, actually, you will see Simba in use. And he's pausing there so that the summon loads while the enemies are not moving. It doesn't actually make it go faster, it only stops the enemies from moving, or else they will hit us while we're trying to let Simba's attack go off.
The way Simba works is you hold down what is the reaction command of triangle, and meter builds, and Simba's great at dealing with these hordes of enemies. All Zetris has to do is just store up one charge. He's waiting for all of them to come out of the ground because then it won't hit them all if they're still in the sand, and he can effectively just wipe out the 2 waves of Heartless very quickly.
The game actually could have crashed there if Simba jumped at the end. If Simba's still out at the end of that fight and he jumps, the game crashes. So, good luck so far. We're booting out Dolan because we don't really need him. And Aladdin's much stronger.
Yeah, the second half of this world relies like entirely on Aladdin dealing damage in order to have fights go fast.
Oh, we also grabbed our first... Ooh.
Oh,
what?
Playing
That was
dirty.
100% Zetris' fault. That was all anti-skill.
Oh.
We grabbed our first Mega Elixir in Aladdin's house, which is surprisingly early in the game to get one. Here you basically just put a jungle key on, which is another key.
That's okay, because there's a really quick backup you can do for that. That's like a couple of frames maybe that you have to mash that out. But because of the backup that Zetris just found randomly one night gloriously, you can just jump at it once that pot's out of the way, once you kill him the first time in, and he can just grab it from there. Again, that's trying to get in before the blue command menu turns into a red command menu. Oddly enough, well, not oddly enough, but in Cage 1, that's completely free to do, the original. In this version, because of the lag, it's just becomes impossible.
Got bad luck there. A random enemy called the Black Fungus can spawn in this room. It doesn't always, but when it does, you just have to leave because they are impossible to kill.
And once again, another room where you're trying to just clear out the enemies. If you drop down there, a bunch more enemies will spawn and you have to leave the room. But by killing them, you can get blue menu and then just unlock this keyhole. So you can already see Agrabah is definitely the most frustrating world throughout the entire run in 1.5, kind of almost in any difficulty. And right there, he's grabbing a Mega Ether. Again, just anything that's going to give you MP in this run is very, very important to pick up. All right, who wants this fight?
I guess
I
I'll
don't
just...
think anybody wants this fight ever.
It is
Never this fight.
arguably the worst fight in the run, called Pot Centipede, because it is an extremely poorly designed fight. There's enemies that can basically come out of the blue and one or two-shot you. You have a boss that can like two-shot you as well, and then you're surrounded by enemies constantly. And we have never really found a consistent strat at all to survive this fight or even have a fast fight.
Good luck, Zetris.
Thanks.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck. Godspeed.
Right here, he's going to try to separate them because that is going to prompt him to form back together and then leave the area. We don't want him to be stuck in here. And eventually, unless there's no pots around, he'll form back together, and now he's going to dash out. Zetris is just trying his best to avoid the billions of enemies surrounding him.
You're gonna take a hit here. You can't avoid it. Unless
Well,
you
now,
do that.
yeah. If it waits, for some reason when he's in that hallway, he effectively has a hurt box stored right there. So if Zetris was too far on top of him, he would have been hit, but it wears off once he gets out of there.
All right, so now that he formed back together, hopefully he'll run again.
No.
But then your party members
Aladdin
ruined
knocked
it.
him apart.
He won't be guaranteed to run unless he has 2 pots on him, which now he does.
There we go.
Oh,
This-
he's on now.
this is really good.
Extremely lucky.
Yeah,
Because his finisher will hit twice
with
now.
only one pot spider, you can see his finisher and his second hit are hitting both of them. Oh, please.
Now he won't break apart though, so it's pretty free. The only downside is
Yes.
good job.
Amazing luck.
So inconvenient for us. They pretty much spawn us wherever we finish the fight, and he was able to make it into the center room, but unfortunately not the next one because we killed him in the original room. We don't control where he goes. It's just a random fight, but it was a pretty smooth fight because that fight can kill you incredibly easy.
Speaking of fights that can kill you incredibly easy.
Here's now the arguably second worst fight in the run.
And some will still consider this the worst one too. So
Yeah, I think Biz actually does consider it. He thinks this is worse. Anybody who played this game remembers how frustrating this fight is. Thankfully, a consistent strat for the opening of the fight has been found. He has to make 5 really quick dodge rolls up here to get up on top of the tiger head, and then actually get 1 hit on him from behind, which for some reason changes his AI to where now he's not swinging his head around, which allows him to, by toggling his target, he wants to keep the damage balanced on both eyes, to where, because once he kills one, the head just becomes much more violent, it spins around a lot more, it becomes harder to hit him. You notice even him wailing on him here, he's doing absolute chip damage, so it just takes forever. Now what makes this fight scary is right about at this point, he's gonna start swinging his head, which is fine for right now. It's more just hindering you. He's about to spit out enemies. It's random whether he'll spit out fat bandits, which you want to see him spit out, or if he's going to spit out other enemies that can just target onto Sora, hit him from out of the air. He can spawn both air soldiers and... He's not, until this health bar is gone, there is nothing to clap about.
So most certainly he has spit out at least bandits now, so they will very shortly be attacking us because they can actually come up here. But the fight is almost over. But you can still get thrown
it's not.
off. It's almost over.
No, it's not almost over till the last.
There,
Nice!
Oh my goodness.
Really good.
That was pretty much a
Those were
perfect fight.
The 2 worst fights, and he did them both incredibly well.
Yeah, so very lucky so far in this world, and that's awesome.
Yeah, very lucky and great execution on Zetris there, especially on almost falling off. You have to have a lot of composure there to be able to control himself to stay up on that nose. With that, we get a little break here. Let's go ahead and read a couple of donations, and then we're going to have the 2 Jafar fights, which, while are not as scary to die to, still you can lose a lot of time to.
Yeah, we've got $50 from Fram K. Shoutouts to my boy for killing it as Gaston. Much love from your old friends in the Score Hero community. Can't wait to see that Ratchet & Clank run and kill those animals. We have $10 from Anonymous. After all the singing, this event should be called Acapella Done Quick. Awesome job, everyone. Keep up the good work. And there's tons more donations about how awesome all you guys' songs are. I can't possibly get through them all.
These load screens will see about that.
So the Jafar fights aren't as random or really random at all, apart from Aladdin's damage. So, but they are very precise and very easy to mess up. So at both fights, the main mechanic is dealing the right amount of damage so that he doesn't go into too late of a phase too early. So on the first phase of Jafar 1, he's going to get him to just under a bar and then stop attacking. Because if he does more than that, Jafar's next phases will go worse. He won't want to stick around as much.
The trick to the opening of this fight is that blizzard right there. He does 2 hits and then the blizzard very specifically to activate that move where he creates a magic shield. Really what it does is just gives you more time to hit him, which reduces this fight to possibly 2 cycles. He's holding off on damage specifically, so that way when he actually reappears on another platform, he'll do that same move where he does the ground shockwave, which gives you the most amount of time to deal damage. So he's doing the same exact thing as before. Awesome.
Aladdin is nice.
Now Aladdin is about as strong as Sora right now, so you need him to do lots of damage in order to make this a 2 cycle.
Oh, he died.
He might make it.
Yeah.
Yeah! That is exceptionally hard to pull off. Good stuff, dude.
Aladdin wasn't there to help him, so that just meant Zetris had to be that much quicker with his short air combos, so that was very impressive.
Yeah, it's very tricky to short hop these aerial combos really fast because they really have to be done fairly precise to be able to do. You'll see on another boss fight later exactly what we mean.
So again, this fight is kind of health-based. Depending on the amount of health Jafar has left, it will change Iago's flying pattern. Because right now, like, your main target is the lamp Iago is carrying. So if you do too much damage in this first part, Iago will start a pattern that makes him incredibly hard to hit. So he's going to be holding back on damage a little bit. You want to keep him above 1.5 bars until Jafar throws his second rock. So right now, I would run away.
And yes, you
call
can
Aladdin away.
Blizzard Jafar. A lot of people don't know that.
Okay. I think his pattern got a bit messed up. This should be fine. Well, Aladdin's doing it for you. Yeah, it's fine. You're fine. So now Iago's going to go fly and land on a platform, which will give Zetris a lot of time to hit him. Hopefully kill him there.
Unfortunately, Aladdin died, so he's going to have to revive him and try to get him to spawn over here.
Which you can do by messing with the camera. I think there he is already.
There he is.
What?
Sort of,
I never did that.
Yeah,
If you keep your party members off the screen and you try to call them over, they get over there like insanely fast.
And Aladdin
Nice.
actually made it on the platform quickly. He struggles with that.
Yeah, he can literally just jump at the platform and never
You need to
make
take
it.
lessons from Clayton because this guy can't jump at all.
This is good damage.
I say Aladdin's doing a lot of damage right now.
So now he can
What's
pretty much
nice, a
win
lot of
with
people don't
Blizzard.
know. Yeah. This should get him.
Nice.
That was an amazing acrobat.
Yeah, very good acrobat.
All right, so coming up next, we actually have another duet, but I want to show you guys. It's going to be a whole new world. We thought it'd be good during this magical carpet ride we're about to have right here. Believe it or not, this is another segment where if you just die, the game doesn't care, and it'll just progress the story anyways. It's actually hard to get the quickest kill possible. He wants to die in the boulder section. See, right there, it's actually really precise to run into the boulders. The game doesn't want to kill you, but you have to try really hard. So now, even missing that one boulder, he's going to have to waste just a few seconds and get hit by one of the fire pillars coming up. But again, this is something that's in Cage 1 original as well. So with that, let's hand it over to Bloody Biscuits. And where is the other mic? Yo! Okay, so yes, let's hit.
Hello?
Oh, is she on?
Oh,
okay,
hi.
there.
Okay.
Whole new world. Bloody Biscuits Kung Fu.
I can show you the world, shining, shimmering, splendid. Tell me, princess, now when did you last let your heart decide? I can open your eyes, take you wonder by wonder, over, sideways, and under, on a magic carpet ride. A whole new world, a new fantastic point of view. No one to tell us no, or where to go, or say we're only dreaming.
A whole new world, a dazzling place I never knew. But when I'm way up here, it's crystal clear that now I'm in a whole new world with you.
Now I'm in a whole new world with you.
Unbelievable sights, indescribable feelings, soaring, tumbling, freewheeling through an endless diamond sky. A whole new world.
Don't you dare close your eyes.
100,000
Hold your
things
breath,
to
it gets
see.
better.
I'm like a shooting star. I've come so far. I can't go back to where I
A whole
used to
new
be.
world
Every turn a surprise.
with new horizons
Every
to
moment red
pursue.
letter.
I'll chase them anywhere. There's time to spare. Let me share this whole new world with you. A whole new world.
A whole new world.
That's where we'll be.
That's where we'll be.
A thrilling chase
A wondrous place
for you and me.
All right, that was awesome. And with our final song coming in whatever place it was, it was actually fifth place. All right, bam. Coming in fifth place, we have got the lovely man himself, Zem. What? Oh, okay, that makes sense. He needs a phone. Zem will be singing "Go the Distance" from Hercules. Thank you all so much for your generosity and all the donation dollars.
Quick shout out. This one goes out to Tyler McAllimore. Good bud of mine. Don't worry about it. I have often dreamed of a far off place where a great warm welcome will be waiting for me, where the crowds will cheer when they see my face, and a voice keeps saying, "This is where I'm meant to be." I will find my way. I can go the distance. I'll be there someday. If I can be strong, I know every mile will be worth my while. I would go most anywhere to feel like I belong. I am on my way. I can go the distance. I don't care how far. Somehow I'll be strong. I know every mile will be worth my while. I would go most anywhere to find where I belong. I will beat the odds. I can go the distance. I will face the world, fearless, proud, and strong. I will please the gods. I can go the distance till I find my hero's welcome right where I belong.
Good luck on Chamber 3 skip. This is really hard. He's gonna try it. Let's see what happens. Oh. That's fine.
Very close.
It saves like about 10 seconds, I believe, to get that.
J-Hops found that, one of our other community members found that a couple weeks back, and it's very precise. It's only maybe 1 or 2 pixels you have to stand there to not bonk or just fall off the platform. But effectively what's happening is, when you go through that first door, it spits you out, but it actually spits you out really high, so you can actually swing back into it, landing inside of there, and then jumping from there to another platform that you're not supposed to be able to get to, saving about, like we said, 10 to 12 seconds, somewhere in there.
So, fun fact about Monstro is that he will always show up in this version when you first encounter him, but you can control where he is. He can be up towards Halloween Town or Atlantica, and we purposely spawn him here because we only do Halloween Town. We don't do Atlantica in this run. And upcoming we have the Parasite Cage 1 boss, and basically we have a stun lock that we try to attempt to do the whole fight on the boss, but our party members love to ruin it very consistently.
Keyword is attempt.
So every time he gets that finisher and stagger, it means it's working, but if, like Dolan right there, probably screwed it up.
Oh, got a little lucky there that it re-staggered him, but
messed
he
it
can
up
also
again,
break
though.
out whenever he wants.
Well, Donald hit him again. There you go.
Here you go.
Good adaptation. That was good.
So those combos have to be relatively fast. You can't just like kind of high jump and attack. You have to do short hop aerial combos very fast. So it's very precise.
Now this is actually called Zetris jump coming up here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Zetris found this, and it saves another handful of seconds, maybe 10 seconds or so, to just, instead of going up and around that they intend for you to do with high jump, Instead, he's just going to roll up on this little bone that's on the wall and then jump from there and get up to the throat of Monstro, saving about 10 seconds.
Speaking of high jump, he just put high jump on.
He just put high jump on.
He
Got it from
also
my chest.
equipped counterattack, combo plus, and
Slap
slap shot. Yes.
Slap shot.
So that was Zetris jump. Got it perfectly.
I think that was a 1 second time saver found by Bloody, actually. So good job. Hey.
So
Hey,
we
every little
have,
bit helps.
yet again, the Parasite cage fight. It's a little bit different this time because this time you can actually knock him down. And you don't want that to happen, but once again, your party members are determined to let that happen. They will do everything in their power to try to ruin this fight for you.
This
But if
actually
they-
becomes one of my favorite fights in the entire run. If Zetris is fast enough with his jump combos, he can just keep him continuously staggered. That's pretty much a scripted way that he's always going to fall down. No one's ever done it in one combo, from what I know. Now at this point, he just has to try to get him back into the loop.
And also hope that Donald, yes.
Yeah,
goes
Donald's
away.
dead. Good.
And
Now from here, if
he's
Goofy
there.
doesn't screw anything up and if Zetris doesn't mess it up, he can actually keep this going the entire time. This is actually a relatively tight window for getting
Oh, he's
in
stuck.
all
He's
these.
stuck.
Yo, Goofy, good job.
Goofy,
Keep doing it.
Goofy's bad.
So yeah, we can just keep him in this stun lock if your party members don't interfere or if Zetris doesn't drop the combo.
And this is some intense comboing. Oh,
It's okay.
yeah, it's pretty ridiculous to keep him stunned the entire time.
Yeah, that's really hard to do. He's close to dead, though, so it isn't too much of a time loss. Once again, abusing iframes there from dodge roll. So very nice. It is much harder than it looks to keep that combo going the entire time. That's a very good feeling when you only drop it once.
Yeah, like it looked like he didn't do anything wrong, but just very slightly slow, and then he breaks out.
So with that, I think it's worth it to kick it over to Riz if you want to explain just this. It's the last major route change of this category, I feel like.
Yeah, so we're actually going to go out of our way back to Traverstown to pick up a new Keyblade from Pinocchio and Geppetto called the Wishing Star. And the Wishing Star is kind of a unique Keyblade. It has a special ability where all finishers will always be critical. And this also includes some of the new abilities in Final Mix, like Slapshot is also always going to be a critical. So with that and your Combo Plus and all that, your ground combos are going to do insane amount of damage. And it actually ends up out-damaging even much later Keyblades like Fairy Harp, just because of all the critical hits you're landing.
So how much time do you think it takes to get the Wishing Star in the first
about a
place?
minute.
Okay,
About a minute out of the way.
and you can still like save that and much more with the Wishing Star.
Yeah.
So yeah, just shows like how amazing Wishing Star is compared to every other Keyblade we have at this point.
Yeah, and even every other Keyblade we're going to get.
Yeah, Neverland used to be a nightmare of a world and proud, but yeah, Wishing Star speeds it up immensely and makes it much safer.
I could be wrong. There might even be strats involved with Wishing Star and Hollow Bastion, like as late as that on
Yes.
the lift, getting like defeating the wizards. Yeah, that's just how good the Wishing Star is. So it's pretty good idea to go out of the way and get this thing.
It does come with a downside that we'll see eventually, though. But in the meantime, yes, we're grabbing Wishing Star, so probably time for donations.
I guess the only thing to really note here is he's equipping the Wishing Star after he gets it, and the Ray of Light, which is just giving him another MP. A mechanic we maybe didn't quite get into is that MP, your magic attacks are actually scaled based on, or not scaled, I'm stupid, but are based on how much your max MP is. So if you have 4 MP, your blizzards and your fires and stuff will actually be stronger than if you have 3 MP. So having that 4th Ray of Light, we can now spam more, and they're more powerful, which you'll see us here in the Halloween Town mob fights are going to use a lot of magic. But with that, yeah, let's go ahead and read a couple donations.
All right, we have $20 from a family of puppies. Hi there, I've been watching AGDQ for the past few years, and this is my first time donating. I'm happy to donate to a great cause and great run. The nostalgia overload from Kingdom Hearts is top-notch. Also, this donation will be going towards dropping the frames for saving the animals. We have a $50 donation from Anonymous, donating this extra $50 for that amazing singing. Good luck on the run, and put this money towards runner's choice.
And let's actually go. I forgot. There actually is one element here that's very new to Proud Mode. It normally was just a beginner thing. I don't know who here wants to explain the Dumbo. The Dumbo, you see, while Zetris is here, he's going to get the Water Gleam, which is another summon gem that will be turned into Dumbo later on. I'm not going to get into exactly why we're grabbing it, but it's got some pretty interesting uses later in the run. But we go ahead and grab it here. The thing about Monstro that's actually interesting is that it's possible that if we just flew through this gummy mission that he would not have shown up, but it's faster to just warp to him, except that you're going to get eaten no matter what in 1.5, and then we'll fly from here to Halloween Town, making this probably the shortest gummy mission in the run. Yeah, it's in original KH1, it was actually possible that Monstro doesn't show up, which gave you a free, like, I don't know, 45 seconds or something stupid advantage over everybody else. It was unlikely, but it could happen. I think we're all pretty grateful that it just automatically gets us every time, especially now that we pick up that summon gem. But yeah, if you want to read one more donation before we get into Halloween Town.
Yeah, sure. We have $50 from Lethal. Find Singing on a Whole New World. Sucker for that song. Animals All Day. Frames Dead.
So thanks to Wishing Star, Halloween Town is going to be a little bit more lenient on us. So it's not nearly as bad as it used to be, but we still have to be very careful because since it's Proud Mode, we can still get 2-shot really easily on most fights and most attacks.
Wishing Star has really made this part of the run much more bearable.
Yeah, it was common when we would do runs of Proud Mode that we just dreaded the mid-game. We dreaded going through Agrabah, Halloween Town, and Neverland. And this has made both Halloween Town and Neverland, like Mista's saying, much more bearable. It still can be bad. Zetris still has to react to quite a few things that can go wrong, especially a lot of the boss fights in this world in particular, but yeah, still much better. So shout outs to Riz for saying we're stupid and putting that back in the route.
Yeah, all the fights here are pretty brutal actually, I think all the fights are brutal here. Something can go wrong in all of them that just kind of destroys you. But the boss fights especially are pretty scary here, even with Wishing Star. Also, he just picked up a power-up that we will be using. There are 2 of them we grab in the run, and it does actually help to use them. But we don't do that for defense boosts because it doesn't help keep us alive at all, so it's not worth going out of the way to grab them. In this menu, he's just going to steal Jack's ethers because he doesn't need them, and put 4 on himself, and then use the power-up. A lot of this world is back and forth to that lab, so you have to get used to it, but we pretty much go do a fight, come back, go do a fight, come back, and then we're off to the rest of the world.
This is where you get to see why we equipped the Ray of Light.
That was really good luck, too.
Yeah, those shadows can still troll pretty well there.
These are the enemies you have to be very careful of. They are pretty much like power wells. They're very difficult to land combos on, and they can jump and attack you and kill you in 2 hits.
So he tried to jump up there and grab the MP orbs to give him an extra one, but didn't quite make it. They were just out of the reach.
Obviously, it's random where the MP bubbles will fall, so he did what he could. I think it was smart going for the 2 instead of the 1 on the ground.
Yeah.
We don't bring Jack with us because, in Zetris' words, he sucks.
That ghost was out for blood. I'm just saying.
He hit those ghosts just to get that extra MP. Since ethers only refill 3 and he has a max of 4.
Yeah, this world has pretty strict MP management. If we're off just a little bit, it could slow down strats or even ruin them. Fortunately, thanks to the Maleficent Elixir strat, we do have extra ethers now in the route, most likely, if we don't have to waste them.
Mist, if you want to go ahead and explain this next room with the graveyard.
Okay, so I was bored one day, and I was doing a level 1 playthrough of this game, and I figured, you know, the way this game works with a lot of its enemies, it wants you to be on a certain part of the room, and I realized that you could kill the current enemies coming up. I bet we're gonna get white mushrooms.
Oh,
But
oh god. We
and
could.
when
Still
you
good.
yeah, but you can kill the white knights that are.
Ah!
Okay, I'm done.
All right. Well,
The load was bad. This is actually slower, but not necessarily not preferred. This does allow Zetris to have his MP basically completely charged. I still want you to explain what you did.
So there are 3 white knights that spawn in that room. You can kill the first one that's right next to the entrance there, and then you can use fire to kill the other 2 from a distance. And if you actually, it's very precise, but you can jump across the little gravestones there. And if you can get across the gravestones very, precisely, you can reach another part of the screen where the enemies actually don't spawn. There's a wave of search ghosts that are meant to spawn in that room if you're in the middle there, but you can bypass that, and right when the other white knights at the very end of the screen are meant to spawn, you can just get into the coffin right there, so you can bypass having to fight 2 more waves of enemies than usual.
Those fires he's doing on those platforms are pretty precise too, and very finicky to actually hit them.
those are the hardest boss in the game for me. Those platforms.
Thought Waterfall Cavern was.
Those platforms are pretty bad, man.
Yeah, at least in that room, there weren't enemies around him that could have taken it away. I mean, there could have been if there was a bad spawn. But upcoming here, this is another really bad piece of RNG that can waste some time. He has to hit that same little platform with a fire while enemies are surrounding him, and then he can go on the other side. Possibly black mushrooms can spawn, and it's not worth it to try to kill the black mushrooms on Proud. In that event, he'll just have to hit it with fire again, go back to the other side, hit it with fire again, and go back that way. Then he's going to be down a lot of MP, which he wants to use again, just like he's done on these other fights, in order to kill off the enemies. Good thing is he is at a good MP level because he got the white mushrooms, so that's why it's debatable which one you would rather have. But we'll see what happens here. He can tell if he got the black mushrooms or not, depending on an audio cue. If you hear a spawn, then he got the white knights and the gargoyle, and that's good.
Nice.
Nice.
All skill.
So we want to keep these guys cornered here because if
Yeah,
we...
that was actually a really
Yeah,
good
that was
fight.
perfect.
That was-
Just throwing that out there.
If we go anywhere else on this map, we'll just end up spawning more enemies. So we really want to keep those enemies cornered so that they don't spread out and cause us to spawn more enemies.
So from here, we don't need Ray of Light anymore for this world, so I'm going to switch it back to Brave Warrior, which will give us more strength.
We have a fun little trick coming up here that sort of just evolved with the initial find that we had here.
Yes, basically the game wants you to either kill these enemies or, as we used to do, despawn them, and then we can go through the door because we can't activate the reaction command without all the enemies being gone. However, someone screwed around a bit and found an interesting way to just skip all of that.
Hello.
We call these community jumps.
Because it was just a group of a bunch of people one day just jumping up and down this thing and finding the most optimal way to get up.
He's going for it.
Yeah!
Nice.
That's a really risky one at the end.
Saves 1 second.
You don't want to fall down.
Unfortunately, he will have to do all of that again if he dies to these idiots.
This is a very difficult fight. You have 3 bosses that can kill you in roughly 2 hits. We target Barrel first. He has the most HP and is hard to attack, so...
Okay.
Very nice.
That was
So
good.
Barrel's
He
effectively
both
dead.
parried one and then had iframes through the other one. So that's the scariest part, is killing one of those two.
When you're down to the last
Okay,
two,
and now
it's
he's down to the
much
last-
better. Of course, Locke manages to
He
hit you.
needs to be safe with these guys, because even with the Wishing Star doing a ton of damage. Oh, I love this fight now.
That was still a very good
That
fight.
was amazing.
Next we have Oogie 1, and that fight used to be very consistent, but Now it's not because we have a faster strat, but it's very scary because we have to get what's called dice reflect multiple times to make it a fast fight.
Dice Reflect is one of the hardest things to execute in the entire run. And what makes it worse on Proud Mode is that the dice can hurt you, and they actually two-shot you. So if Zetris whiffs, then they will roll into them, and it's random how they'll fall, how they'll then like spread out on the ground, what they can spawn. It can be a pretty rough fight.
Every part of it is it's random how he throws them even.
And on top of that, the Wishing Star's range is very short.
So here we have to dispose of the first 2 gargoyles that spawn to be able to trap Oogie.
Good dodge.
He's got to be careful because Oogie's throwing down exploding dice, so you can't let him get out of your sight.
Nice.
Here he traps his party members out of the fight because you can only hit Oogie 10 times when you're up here, and they count with their hits as well, and they do not deal a lot of damage. And we actually want to do very specific amounts of damage too. And this is going to be the first attempt at a dice reflect.
Nice.
Yes.
Very nice. That's one.
That's one.
He's got one more to go after.
Oh, God, Oogie.
But he cannot let Dollar
No! Oh, man.
So that's unfortunate.
And that's all created by Donald and Goofy just not leaving.
Yeah, it's very easy to trap him where you want him, but not when you're trying to keep your party members away from you because they just keep following you.
It didn't help that Oogie was just running back and forth either. That's the worst thing you can do.
Nice.
Oh, my goodness.
Double.
I probably could have gone for that, but
Oh, my
Wow.
goodness. Come on, man. There you
There
go.
you go.
And the scary thing is
had
you
to do
don't have
it.
unlimited time
Yeah,
to
he
do
had
that.
to do it there.
I think you have like a roughly 17 seconds to actually pick a switch.
So he doesn't want to do too much damage to him. That's why I did that air combo. Because depending on what happens here, if he misses a dice reflect and he did too much damage, he'll heal himself.
Aw, man. Ah, so close.
He actually would have had it if the dice didn't spin Sora around. I don't care. You still got 2 dice reflects.
Just getting one of those is insanely difficult.
And hopefully Donald also dies. Aw.
Okay.
There we go.
So from here, he wants to reset his combo every time and just do 10 slap shots. Because again, with the Wishing Star, all of them do crit damage.
He's a little off on damage, so
I'm not. I'm just going to throw it.
He did have the bonus ether that he didn't have to use because of white mushrooms, so this actually isn't that bad. Very nice. Yeah, those dice reflects are stupid hard, and he hit 8 out of 9 back at him, so that's still very good. It's unfortunate, but...
Oogie was determined.
Yeah.
He was so determined.
that's why
to
we
ruin
hate the
that.
fight now. But it doesn't get any better. Now we have Oogie Manor, which actually this is another one of those fights you can leave if you want, but
Actually used to be part of the old route when we got a Flare G in this world.
yeah, we don't do that. We just go right into it now. This is a very terrifying fight. Fire flying everywhere half the time. Enemies, they all two-shot you. When you destroy, there's basically, I believe, 7 orbs, and when you destroy 3 of them, that starts spawning enemies next to the orbs, which makes it even harder. And to be fast, we do risk that, because we could avoid it by bringing these all to like roughly 1 HP and then hitting them in 1 hit each, or destroying them. But Zetris is just going to destroy them immediately to go fast.
You have to be very fast throughout this fight to just reduce the amount of time that you could get sniped by stuff. Again, this fight's going to get much... Oogie's going to get a lot more aggressive now that he's killed 3 of the orbs. There are 7 total. Obviously, those guys are terrifying, so the usage of stop is warranted.
So now that they're stopped, they're not going to catch up to you right away here, so that gives us enough time to safely get rid of that one. And then we're coming up on the worst one to deal with, because there's a grabbable ledge here.
Oh. Okay. We'll save that for later.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you can
Like
see,
we said, this is
relentless.
by far the worst orb on the manor. Also, these gargoyles are doing work. And again, ground combos are preferred because that's what's going to give you the crit pluses with Slapshot and with the finisher.
They're very aggressive right now.
There you go.
Very nice adaptation.
Oh my goodness.
The first time I got hit next to that 6th orb, I would have just rolled off the mansion and just
That's
said,
what I
peace.
do too,
I would have just stubbornly kept attacking and died instantly.
Yeah, you really have to know when to back off, which Zetris did the first time and went to another orb to kind of like, let the attacks kind of disperse.
I think one of the greatest qualities of speedrunning this category is just knowing how to keep your cool in really terrifying situations. I think that's part of why Zetris has record, is just, knowing what to do in any situation.
Now, coming up is possibly one of the most, if not the most, notorious part about this game as a speedrun. Now, in order to progress in this game, we need to defeat Hook in Neverland and then get the navigation gummy piece in order to go to the last few worlds of this game. But since we have only completed Monstro and Halloween Town, and we have not completed the 3rd world, which is Atlantica, there is roughly a 1 in 4 chance that Neverland will not spawn upon the first attempt to drive here.
And even though those odds are in our favor, we do seem to miss it half the time.
Yes. It doesn't feel like 1 out of 4.
Some days it feels like never.
We did just get the pumpkin head keyblade, but we don't equip it. It's bad. It's terrible.
It's an immediate 55 seconds if you do miss the ship, which, I mean, on Proud Mode, it's almost the equivalent of a death, but it's just kind of a nasty time loss in any situation, just to kind of be left up to luck.
We've tried very hard to find a way to trigger at the spawn, but we've come up with nothing.
Yeah, Bloody, who just talked right here, he actually has the world record in beginner, which is a much tighter category in its execution. If you miss hook ship, I'm assuming you just automatically reset at this point.
Yeah.
There's just not, 55 seconds. That's the total amount of time he's trying to pull out of the run, if even that much.
Even
so,
in Proud, though, that's pretty much a
Oh, no,
reset now.
it's become a much tighter thing, even on the higher difficulties. Yeah, we'll know here pretty soon whether or not we're going to get a fade out.
And it's terrible because you can actually miss it multiple times in a row.
I forget, what's the record for how many misses in one run?
Like 7 or something?
Yeah, I think I heard that.
Okay, here we go. Yeah.
Nice.
Good job. All skill.
Great execution.
This world used to be really awful, but it's much more manageable with Wishing Star, but it's still very dangerous. Anti-Sora and Hook both hit extremely hard, and the cool part about this world is there's actually interesting movement tech that Zetris will be attempting to get to the fights.
Yeah, all 3 of these first few rooms have a little bit of movement tech to actually get through it faster. There's actually a little bit of load screens here, so if you want to read a donation, go for it.
Yeah. We have $100 from Cody Paith. I absolutely love Kingdom Hearts. It was a huge part of my life growing up and introduced me to so many great online communities where I made a ton of good friends. Thanks for everything you guys are doing. Put this money towards Spike Vegeta's choice.
All right.
Which, do you know what your choice is?
That's a great question. I will think about... Actually, Toji sucks for Cecil.
Yeah.
All right, you got it.
100% Toji sucks.
Nice.
Very nice. That's 1 out of 3.
He had to attack at the very apex of his jump to be able to land on that.
There's 2 out of 3. Just shooting that fire, making sure Sora wouldn't grab the ledge.
And this one, all you have to do is get close to the loading zone and
3 for
it
3.
loads.
Nice.
So he didn't even have to grab the ladder. There's another one in the next room, but I don't know if Zetris goes for it.
Not really.
No. It doesn't seem consistent, so I don't think most of us bother.
So both bosses in this world, Antisora and Hook, are, if you were alone fighting them one-on-one, they would be fine. But in both fights, in Antisora it's party members, and in Hook it's this battleship flying around. Those elements make these fights terrifying and just really random.
This is, any of you familiar with Super Mario RPG speedrunning, they talk about there's like 14 reasons why Zardragon is the worst fight in the game. There's probably a similar list you could write for Antisora, between the terrain being absolutely awful. You're in a room with a freaking desk in the middle of it. You got this stupid wall. You got beds on either side. Donald and Goofy are both idiots. He can break out pretty much whenever he wants to do that.
Yeah.
They basically pushed Antisora into Zetris so that the attack connected. That's how bad your party members are here.
I'm helping. Oh boy.
So we do have a loop on this guy, but not for the first phase. He does not have a loop in the first phase. We just have to react to whatever he does, which is unfortunate because party members will, like we said, just ruin the fight.
Once he gets him down to about 1 point, somewhere between like 1.2 and 1.45 bars of health, he can actually get him into a loop, which he's going to try to throw out an aerial hit because it has a lot of damage frames in order to hit him coming up when he doesn't have it's not a big window, and then get off 5 hits using 4 hits on the ground and then repeatedly blow him up. But first we got to get there.
And as you can see, they're pushing Antisora around. And then he can do that. That's cool.
No manners at all.
This fight is debatably worse on beginner and standard just because they will not die.
Standard, definitely.
Oh,
Beginner, you do so much damage, it's not really as bad.
So you really want your party members to die here like they are now so that they don't interfere with the fight. So that's one variable out of the equation at the moment.
Now, at this point in the fight, what will happen to Antisora is he'll blow up after a full combo or 5 hits in a row, and then do an attack and then attempt to go underground. And what he does right there is he does an aerial hit, which has a really, really small frame window for you to actually stun him. And that's the goal of this entire fight, is just continue to loop him like that the entire fight and just continue to do combos.
As you can see, very easy for him to just get out of it if you're not precise.
And the thing about those copies is that they deal as much damage as regular Antisaurs, so you want to throw out that blizzard to get rid of them. This loop is incredibly difficult to do, and there's actually even harder variations of it you can do.
So imagine before Wishing Star, this would take double the time.
Nice.
That fight used to be basically twice as long with the same strat, but Wishing Star, fortunately,
What?
it's finicky there. So here he's stealing all of Peter Pan's ethers and putting on Raven's Claw that we just obtained, and then also putting on Guard.
And again, he shot a fire there just so Sora would not automatically grab the ledge.
Sora loves ledges.
Yes.
He's got the magnet hands.
So before we hook, we do have a pre-hook fight that we call it, where there's tons of enemies we have to kill, and we kind of debate about what's fastest to do. Zetris and I brainstormed yesterday what could be done, but for now he's just going to basically abuse Wishing Star's crits to quickly kill everything, and then you'll see our first instance of gravity use, which is an extremely strong spell. Booting out Dolan again. These enemies are pretty difficult to land combos on.
They love to just fly everywhere except to you.
And your party. And
And you don't want to see that.
Fortunately, there was enough other enemies where Zetris can just go after others while that one's stopped. Because they don't die until stop runs out.
Yep.
Yo, Peter.
I'm helping.
So the reason why Zetris actually elected to pull back and fire him from there, this last wave of enemies will not spawn until you are on the ship or over the ship.
So gravity is like percentage based roughly, and it destroyed that ship because we stopped and threw 2 gravities on it, and one combo just annihilates it. And you'll be seeing more gravities throughout the run.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Mob fights in a lot of ways can be the toughest fights. Go ahead, Biz.
Yet another fight you can walk away from. You can just waltz out of this fight with Hook. And that's what Zetris is going to do as a safety strat, so that if he were to die, he doesn't have to do that fight over again.
Oh, I was waiting for him to not. Screw you guys.
We talked about it. I wasn't.
It's
guessing.
a little like 8 to 10 second safety to not have to go back and do that entire pre-hook fight.
This fight would be really fun if there weren't a battleship in your blind spot constantly that can help 2-shot you with Hook. And that's the #1 problem with this fight.
I'm going to give... Oh, go ahead.
That battleship right there, it has a bunch of different attacks it can do at any time.
This fight became much better with the works of Riz. This has become like his baby. I would say.
We want to make sure we try not to knock Hook off this ship either, because that wastes a ton of time for him to jump back on.
Wait.
And
So actually look at his health bar. He actually is doing chip damage with these 3 sliding dashes in addition to deflecting them.
So a key to getting more damage is stopping him while he's staggered. You can't do... Oh, God.
the other thing the battleship can do is actually heal Hook, but
Yeah.
so far, yeah.
Oh, my God.
My God.
Yo. The jukes are real.
This is fine.
This is... Oh,
Oh my god. Yeah.
Girl, you greedy. Oh my god.
That ship was out for revenge.
A lot of us have learned that if you ever get hit in the Hook fight, you just immediately back away and heal. It, like 9 out of 10 times you'll die if you try to attack when you get hit.
And did you explain that if you kill one ship, another one just respawns?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why we don't kill the
You
ship.
can't kill it. You can't stop it. It's just there forever.
So here we have a little stretch. The big thing he's going to be doing is going to be grabbing the Flare G right here, which is yet another gummy piece that's just going to make our ship go faster. By the end of this run, our ship is just going to be flying past crap. Literally, but also really fast. Also, hitting these is impossible. Good
Third
job.
hardest boss right there.
There is a menu coming up, but we have a couple of cutscene skips right here. We want to get in a quick donation.
Yeah, we've got a $50 donation from Royalty Complex. Hi, longtime watcher, first-time donator. I just want to say you guys are doing a wonderful job with this Kingdom Hearts speedrun, and it's making me want to get into speedrunning Birth by Sleep. Shout out to the video game series that progressively makes less sense plot-wise with each installment, but still continues to be endless fun. Here's to a great rest of the run. Good luck, Zetris.
And can we actually get a donation total right now?
Yeah, sure. We are at $183,000, $183,329.
I think that's up like 12,000 since we started, so thank you all so much for the generosity.
So that boss we kind of just left a while ago in the run. We have to go back and beat it to progress. So
Oh,
that's
yeah. Opposite armor.
yeah, that thing.
Forgot about him.
BT dubs.
But here he's equipping, Fairy Harp, a new Keyblade. It gives us +2 MP.
1 MP.
1 MP. And then he equipped Ars Arcanum, which is going to be used quite a bit in this run. Also equips Glide now that we finally have it, and also customized Goofy a bit there for later on in the run.
So while at this point Wishing Star still technically does a little bit more damage than Fairy Harp, the extra MP from Fairy Harp is super important. So we're going to be mainly using this from now on until we get the next Keyblade.
Does it actually outdamage Fairy Harp in the air?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Well,
Because you're mostly using air in this.
well, for this fight.
Right.
But for like Riku, it doesn't.
Oh, sure. No
So-
doubt.
So he got the Water Gleam chest in Monstro way back when, and now he's coming back to Merlin's house to retrieve the summon that is Dumbo.
Yep, you'll see in Hollow Bastion why we're getting Dumbo. For now, he's just kind of sit in our pocket.
If you want to go ahead and read maybe 2 more quick donations as we're just moving our way up to the bell tower.
Yeah. We have here $150 from Brett M. I've been enjoying these marathons for about 2 years now and have never decided to donate before, but I was just informed by my dad while watching this run that my grandfather has cancer. So please take my money so hopefully in the future people don't have to ever feel the way I feel now. Thanks for the donation and hope everything works out, buddy. We have $20 from Shy Ranger. I've literally never seen a missed hooks ship, and I'm donating because this run kept my streak going.
So interesting movement tech here, so we can skip going in the shop right here, so we can go straight to the bell tower. Here we pretty much just throw out our new ability R's, which is a limit, and hope for the best. Which that is a fine fight.
That was a fireball.
Okay. I thought, what happened?
Yeah, that could go way worse. They can like fall off the bell tower and then just kind of stay down there or despawn and respawn.
The kind of properties of Ars Arcanum are limit there is that the first half of it, you have complete iframes. It will always come out. That will get to finish. But after that, you get a series of, is it 6 or 7 bashes total? I think it's 7, and we generally will only do 6 of them because there's really bad recovery on the 7th one. But you don't have iframes from there, so you can be interrupted. So that's something to keep in mind as we go on to later fights in the run.
So because we saved this until now, we are way over leveled. The game did not intend you to wait this long to fight
Nice.
opposite armor.
How does that work?
So, making it spike. You just have to reduce the health of one of his limbs to get him to knock over, and end that part of the fight. And there he always starts off with an attack that you can guard and go right into R's.
This is pretty much similar to the guard armor fight. We're just trying to destroy the parts and hope he doesn't split, but this happens sometimes. It's not a big deal either way, just a little bit of time loss. And this is, once again, yet another fight you can accidentally walk out of. Like, there's a door over there, and if you accidentally walk into it, the fight will have to be restarted.
Luckily, though, you're not allowed to enter loading zones while locked onto things, so if you just stay locked onto the boss, you shouldn't have to worry about it.
And now the damage will start once his head comes back with his body. Yep.
Yeah.
And there's the fight. Nice
Decent
fight. The most epic of final poses.
So now we finally get the arrow spell, which we will definitely be using a little bit later on in the run. It is, or even pretty soon.
I would actually like to ask Riz, did you ever come up with an estimation of how much slower early arrow would be for someone who maybe wanted to get into this run but wanted it to be a lot safer?
I mean, it's at least a minute. I haven't looked into it very much lately. The main problem is that opposite armor is just really difficult at that point.
Right.
So
It's the difference between being level like 13 and being level like 33. So that's 20 levels worth of strength, defense, all sorts of good stuff that you're missing out on. Right.
Yeah.
But it does make the mid game, which I personally consider to be the hardest part of the run. It does make it much safer, especially stuff like Oogie Manor, Tiger Head, Pot Centipede, a lot better. But with that, I think we're just going to be getting through a couple more menus and then taking another Gummy Ship mission on our way to the end game, starting with Hollow Bastion 1, a lot of people's the kind of the fan favorite world for a lot of people. It's what hooked me to the game. So let's go ahead and kick it over to Annihilator and read off a couple donations for a few minutes.
Yeah, you got it. We have $50 from Kuwait. This is the 4th GDQ event I watched Kingdom Hearts being run, and I started the tradition of donating $50 every time, so I'll keep it up. I used to run the beginner category of this game, so I know how the RNG can mess up a good run. Keep up the great run, Zetris. Money goes to his choice, and let the hook shit be with you. We have $20 from Akawabora. Absolutely had no idea you could play Kingdom Hearts, my favorite game, like this. Enjoying this, and here's to stamping out losing so many great people to cancer. Thanks for the show.
And actually, sorry, there was one thing I forgot, actually. So depending on your in-game timer, whether it's, it starts with the 2-hour mark, 3-hour mark, 4-hour mark, etc., there's actually going to be a different item that you can get in this tower. At both the 2-hour mark and the 4-hour mark, you can get a power-up. And it just so happens that on Proud Mode, if you're actually on a God run, you can get here too early. But I don't think that's quite happened yet.
I think Zetris explained to me yesterday that with the Dumbo route, we no longer probably will ever be here too early, so it should be all right now.
Oh, for sure. And with that, sorry, you can go back to donations.
Oh, that's all right. We have $20 from Anonymous saying, "Cancer sucks. I will assume you are good at this game based on the people clapping when you do things." I don't know. I think he's pretty good.
All right. Woo! One other quick thing I'll just say right here is that because we took all the armor off of our ship, while we can't get one shot by anything in the regular run, or just like in the worlds and stuff, you can actually get one shot here. Like this gigantic wall coming up, if we just flew into it, we would die. So just something to keep in mind that the gummy ships are actually kind of scary here in the late game. This wall can one-shot you. A lot of enemies coming from behind can one-shot you just off-screen. Real cheap, real good deal.
And when he gets the last pieces of his gummy ship on, they get even scarier because they're going ludicrous speed.
Yeah, you'll basically go twice as fast as this past all these enemies, like what feels like almost instantly when we boost through them. So we really have to be like precise with moving around to make sure we don't just crash into something that one-shots us.
Yeah, like you'll see some enemies come up from behind here pretty soon that if they hit you, they would one-shot you. But if you know how to move, it's consistent to make sure they don't hit you. Yeah, those guys, yeah, one-shots.
It's terrifying seeing it every time. Oh my goodness.
As long as you stay still or move down left, you'll avoid them. But if you move, up right, you'll get snagged by them and just die.
It's still scary.
Yes.
We have a $20 donation from Alex is Okay saying, "Shoutouts to Bloody Biscuits for apparently knowing all of the Disney songs by heart and not having to read the lyrics off a phone."
That was the most impressive part to me. Waterfall Heights. What is it called?
Rising Falls.
Rising Falls. I'm going to call it Waterfall Heights. I can't read Japanese. All right.
This is. I actually kind of have a lot of fun in this world. Execution-wise, there's a lot of fun fights, but then there's also a lot of terrifying fights as well. So it's a pretty interesting mix. But right now, we're about to have our Keyblade replaced with a wooden sword. So we have to make sure we have the Keyblade we want for the Riku 1 fight currently equipped, which is going to be Fairy Harp. And the problem with losing our Keyblade is we won't be able to deal physical damage with it. In one final mix, it deals 0 damage, so we're going to have to rely on Beast and our magic to do a couple, or basically just one enemy.
So when he gets Beast, he's going to do a menu where he'll take Beast Ethers, he'll put on the power-up he just got, and then he'll give himself an elixir and 4 other ethers to set up for the fights in this world.
We don't bother stealing potions after a certain part in the game because we have Cure, so there's really no need to bother stealing potions. Only ethers are very valuable to us. So now we have the wooden sword, so we cannot physically attack anything and expect to deal damage.
Magic still works though, which is great.
Yeah, there's thankfully only one fight we have to engage in here, and there's a certain magic spell that will help us out a lot there. Until then, let's read a couple more donations, I think, as we're moving through through this area. Waterfall Heights, y'all. Shoutouts.
Waterfall Heights sounds like a great apartment complex to
I
move
know.
into.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking of. My rent's due.
We have $50 from Sue D. Nim. Ah, I get it. I have had 6 family members with some form of cancer. I wish I could donate more. You guys are doing a good thing. P.S. Your singing voices are awesome. We have $20 from Lovable Lamb Chop. Yo, hey Zetris, Lamb Chop here. Glad to see you running Kingdom Hearts at AGDQ and doing your best representing the PlayStation Nation. Good luck to all the runners and keep up the great work, everyone.
I think now we're in waterfall depths.
Oh. I was like, well, okay, I had started. I could have said that. I just went, well.
So that's supposed to be a puzzle, but it's relatively straightforward.
Yo, you can freeze these bubbles, and it's funny. All right, so the strat here is he needs to stay a certain distance away from the defender, because if he's too close, he's going to use 2 gravities to get him low on health, basically into kill range. And then by being far enough away, spamming triangle, Beast should go up and do something.
Yay.
Okay, that's generally not what he does, but that's fine.
For me, he usually punches his shield about 6 times and then does
Right.
So yeah, that's the power of gravity in this run. It's basically, if you know Final Fantasy games, it's like the demi magic spell, roughly. So that's exactly how we're going to use it. Unfortunately, on bosses, it generally doesn't work.
Yo!
Worth it.
Yeah, the reason why I was talking about it was kind of position based. He can be closer and do effectively the same thing, but then when he spams triangle to make Beast more aggressive and go to attack him, he could initiate Ars Arcanum instead. Again, this in KH1 Original, the only thing triangle did, other than your hotkeys, was just call your party members. Now that they moved a lot of like examining stuff, opening chests, using Ars Arcanum and other limits to triangle, it kind of complicated that issue a little more. But mostly ours is position-based, whether or not Sora that will trigger or not. And now he needs to despawn these dark balls. I like the left side. Zetris still does the right side. That's okay. Either way, it'll work.
So we're coming up on the first Riku fight, and quite a frustrating fight because he will break out every 3rd hit that staggers him. So we can't do a full combo without him breaking out, so we had to come up with something else. And we're about to get Fairy Heart back for the fight, because that's what we have equipped before we got the sword. So he's going to throw out an arrow for defense for the first time in the run. So you will see how he takes a little bit less damage, which is pretty necessary to surviving this fight. Because we kind of just hope to parry and use counterattack to get kind of like a loop thing, but the party members, once again, as usual, can screw it up.
The other thing that can screw it up is sometimes Slapshot, as strong of an attack as it is, it can just whiff if your positioning isn't perfect. Sometimes even out of Zetris' control, so we'll see what happens. This is definitely one of the harder fights to feel like you did optimally, but we'll see what happens.
And it is an option to throw out ours there, but the whole thing will never hit because they'll break out. So right here he's doing the parry strat to keep him kind of looped. And Goofy can parry him too, which is nice if it works out.
Also, shouts to Jay Hobbs for discovering this strat.
This is unfortunately all we have of a strat here, is to hope we keep getting this parry loop.
Yeah, there's another strat you can do with Wishing Star where you just hope Goofy keeps him in the corner and you just mash attack. And it is it's faster if it works, but if it doesn't work, you're going to be running around forever.
Very nice.
That was a great fight.
So now we actually get Beast again, but we keep our normal party this time. We will use them on the second visit though. But more interestingly, we just have access to White Trinity, so we are going to take full advantage of that and go get a very important accessory in the run. If someone wants to explain exactly what it is.
Sure, yeah. The Ifrit's belt is an accessory we're going to pick up. And it's going to give us plus 2, 3 strength. What is it? 3?
3.
Is it? Yeah, plus 3 strength. Which might seem like it's a long way out of the way to grab it, but it's 100% worth it. I know you've talked about, you basically make the time back on Maleficent almost alone, just having that much damage output. And it's going to be equipped the rest of the run. So absolutely worth it.
God forbid we have to go back to Agrabah.
Fortunately, this is consistent. I say that, and then a bandit's gonna like snipe him on the way out.
As a bonus, he's also going to grab a cottage in the Cave of Wonders. Basically just, you can use it from the menu and it will refill all your HP and MP for all 3 party members. And we'll actually end up using 4 cottages throughout the run. We make use of all of them. While we're collecting it, the menu coming up, he's going to be unequipping Sliding Dash and Slap Shot, because both of those abilities can screw with fights later on. Sliding Dash you're never going to put back on. It's not a great ability in the first place, but it had some uses early on. And Slap Shot can screw up, particularly the Maleficent fight coming up, just because it can throw off your timing. But so we don't really want it on. With that, let's go ahead and kick it over for a few. Oh, go ahead.
I'm just going to point out that he's also going to put Wishing Star back on for just a little bit, as well as equipping Hurricane Blast. Hurricane Blast is a stronger aerial finisher, and that combined with Wishing Star will let him one combo the wizards coming up. Without that setup, it would take 12 hits per enemy or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it might seem weird that we're equipping all that just for one little 3 enemy mob fight, but like he's saying, that's 12 less hits, so it ends up being worth it.
Yeah, and simply changing a Keyblade is relatively fast in a menu that you already have to do anyway. Also of note, Slapshot on Maleficent also can send you behind her, and that makes her teleport. So that's another reason we don't want Slapshot on in that fight.
Is there anything we want to explain about this upcoming kind of puzzle room? I don't know if there's...
I mean, it's stuff.
It's pretty self-explanatory.
It's pretty obvious what he's doing. There is a
things.
really stupid strat you can do.
Shout out to Liquid.
Shout out to Liquid Wi-Fi. It's fast, but if you fail it, you lose 40 seconds.
Right.
Yeah, don't do it.
Just don't. Please don't do it. But yeah, other than that, the cool thing about Hollow Bastion, I think it's like one of the most technical worlds in terms of just the fights and the movement. There's a lot of really cool skips you can do. We're going to get to those pretty soon here. So let's go ahead and get in a couple donations during this room before we get to the really important stuff.
Yeah, definitely. We have $400 from K-Spice. I needed to donate during the KH run. I lost my mother to cancer years ago. After her battle with lymphoma to help me cope, I lost myself in Kingdom Hearts. It was an escape I needed and will always be an important part of my life. For my mother and her 3 sisters who also lost their battles, this one is for you. Donation goes to Runner's Choice. We have $100 from Awesome, it's Amy. Watching this run brings back a lot of memories. My first playthrough, I didn't realize I was getting new Keyblades until after fighting Riku. I felt pretty silly afterwards. Since it's not every day I get to see this game totally destroyed, I'm going to let Zetris choose what this $100 goes to. We have $50 from Nisa. I'm so excited that you guys are breaking my favorite game. Also, thank you so much for hosting a generous event. I lost my mother to cancer 6 years ago, and I hope that all the money we raise will help us get closer to a cure.
I apologize.
It's all right.
So this puzzle's now done, and we're going to actually start going up Hollow Bastion. We have something really interesting coming up soon, and I feel like this is the only time we really have to really get into it, and it's called EXP0 strats. On Proud mode, we have an ability that they added into 1.5 only called EXP0. This game was never intended to be done on really low levels or level 1, so they kind of had to modify the ability and give it hidden properties to have us like survive fights. But because of that, it has some weird side effects that you will see, but I don't know if like Riz or Miss want to explain what damage storage is.
I'll let Miss do it.
Okay. Well, the way damage storage works is while you have EXP0 equipped and you do a normal finisher, nothing like Hurricane Blast, whenever you summon or use magic, it's basically multiplied with the amount of damage output that you have. But basically, you can use it to abuse the summon. A particular summon will be getting after this world, and fire as well. That's mostly going to be used towards the end of this game. But there's also one boss fight in this world where we'll be taking advantage of it.
We used to actually have quite a few more uses, yeah. I know like Parasite Cage 1, Oogie Boogie and Oogie Manor.
It used to make Oogie 1 consistent, but we routed out using EXP0 there for a faster route overall, unfortunately for us.
Yeah, Riz, do you want to... oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, Riz, if you want to explain just like how powerful single strength increases are actually, where you think it can't be that much difference in a fight between one strength increase.
Oh. I mean, it's just, you know, we're kind of under-leveled throughout this whole thing, so like every bit of strength can make a huge difference. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess like each strength up actually gives you 2 strength, not just 1.
Oh, right, yeah.
And there's, you know, kind of intense scaling in this game. Like you say, you wouldn't think it's that much more damage. It is quite a bit. That's also the fight Riz was talking about there, where you actually save 12 hits worth of damage, or 12 hits worth of hits, sure.
Also back then, on the last room, he did a specific movement tech in order to get over to the chest that was on the other side of the room, which contains the Haste 2 gummy, and he will be equipping that before the next gummy mission along with Flare G, and we had to go super fast.
So now he's about to use a Blue Trinity that gives us 2 cottages and a Mega Elixir, which is, we basically spam cottages endgame with the few we get, and then the elixirs and Mega Elixirs are used for final bosses mostly, so they're very important to grab.
So now we're coming up on our first use of Dumbo. Normally what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to go around through these series of rooms, defeat a wave of enemies, lower the block, and then go around to this upper area. But Dumbo, if you've never seen the Dumbo before, it gives you the ability to actually like fly around and ascend. And you can fly just high enough in this one area to grab the ledge.
Royal Crown.
And you'll see Zetris doing that right now.
First he needs to get Royal Crown. Royal Crown's an accessory that gives you plus 2 MP but lowers your strength, and we're going to be needing that a lot later on.
Yeah, we'll probably explain it when we get to Dragon Mail. But it's absolutely necessary to having a fast and safer endgame. And then now he's about to do Dumbo strats.
There's no way to get back up, so this is the only way. Just falling down just sends you back 1 more level. So here's Dumbo. This actually wasn't in the route as of like a month ago. Zetris routed it back into Proud mode.
Once again, pausing there to stop the enemy movement so the summon still loads. Even though it's brief, it still helps. So it wasn't intended that you could ledge grab there. So now we effectively sequence breaked a fight that was supposed to be somewhat forced. And now we come up on what used to be one of the worst fights of the run, but now is much more manageable thanks to Riz.
Thank you once again, Riz.
Yes, thank you, Riz, for all the cage strats.
Things can still go wrong. There's particularly one segment where you can get hit by lightning that spins all around. Donald and Goofy, particularly Goofy, can just push you. Hopefully we won't see that, but I don't know if Riz, you want to explain anything about this fight as we go in? I mean, it's relatively self-explanatory.
Yeah, it's self-explanatory. It's going to be smashing her with R's over and over again.
we don't want to use the finisher of ours, or else if we do a finisher on Maleficent, she'll break out of our strat. So we want to avoid finishers. I don't think they intended you to immediately jump on there either.
Ours.
Oh,
There you go.
So that's a thing that can happen in the Japanese version of this game. Sometimes attacks like that just don't show up for a while at the start of fights. We don't really know why that happens. Okay. Try to time this to knock away the defenders.
That was incredibly dangerous.
That was an amazing recovery. Yeah, 100% not Zetris' fault what happened there. It can just not show up.
Okay, so first instance of EXP0, and Mist already explained damage storage, and we already explained how it was added into this and how it has hidden properties. This is the first time you will see it used, and now we are equipping Royal Crown and Ray of Light to get max MP here that we can have at the moment, and equipping Cheer on Dolan to help out with our summons, because summons are tied to how much, their strength is tied to how much MP you have, so it's very necessary to have this much. Dragon Mail, you know, a fight that casually a lot of people get stuck on, especially on Proud, and you're going to see exactly how strong EXP0 is and how we handle it.
Yeah, again, this is effectively, we're trading in our experience that we would get from this fight, which is a lot of experience, like
It's
6,000 experience, in order to do this.
Also, you can stop her. So our summon of choice is Genie here. And reason for that is he has a rapid fire attack summon. And due to damage storage, all those attacks are going to be pretty strong, to say the least.
See, she's already down a bar. Another bar.
Very abusive.
And this might
This
just
might kill,
we
yeah.
might just kill her. Oh, yeah.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
there it
very
is.
nice.
So the attacks Genie decides to
So,
use.
important to note, we don't want to do this for the rest of the run. We do have to take EXP0 off right now because we do need the levels to speed up endgame. We could keep it on, but then it would turn it into like a very dangerous endgame run that we don't really want. So now we're going to switch out our accessories to give us strength back because we don't really need much MP on Riku.
To note, Zetris does also have a world record in the level 1 category of this, where you just keep EXP0 on the entire time. And surprisingly, it's only, I think, 17 minutes or so slower. It's a 329 instead of a 312 XX that he has. So that kind of shows you the power of EXP0, that you're going to be dozens and dozens of levels lower than you're supposed to be, and the run's only 17 minutes slower.
But unfortunately, Riku here gives us way too much EXP to pass up on. We don't really need it anyway. It's actually a relatively fast fight. This is the other fight casually people struggle with. But fortunately, well, I'm not going to spoil it. You'll see.
Yeah, we can call for just a little bit of serious time for audio.
Very nice.
So yes, you can loop his last phase, and it's actually not as easy as it looks. If you just mash those combos, he will instantly break out. You actually have to time it very strictly to be able to stagger him after he auto counters with that spin attack.
During that entire time when his health bar was in green, if he broke out just once, and if he does, it's very hard to start up again before he gets the chance to do anything. He will do what is called a desperation move, or a DM for short, and he'll basically charge around the arena for about 10 seconds where you can't do anything besides run away and try to heal if he hits you. Some big time waster.
So we are
Hi, Albert.
Yeah, the fastest way to get through here is just to jump off of Hollow Bastion a lot. So we're going to do that. From here, this is actually another little bit slower stretch of the run. The biggest thing is we're going back to Traverse Town for our final visit, and we are going to collect one more valuable summon. That we collected the summon gem actually from beating Dragon Maleficent. We're going to go to the Fairy Godmother and get Mushu. And Genie used to have like 3 uses out of the run originally. He was down to 1. We're now, as powerful as he was there, we have a much faster, more consistent version of him in Mushu that you'll get to see, pretty late in the run. But for now, while we're doing that and we're going through Traverse Town 4, let's go ahead and kick it over to Annihilator and just bust through some donations.
Yeah, thanks. We have $100 from Bolero-phone. Greetings from Scotland. Another year, another great GDQ event. With all the terrible stuff that happens in the world, it's good to see some dedicated people doing what they love for good cause. Oh, and kill the animals. We have $25 from Dana. This is my first AGDQ that I've been able to donate to. You guys all right over there?
He just got the hardest trick in the game called Bonkless. That's before Donald's mallet hits Albert on the head. It's cool. Go on. Keep giving us money. It's fine.
So let me try again. We have $25 from Dana. This is my first AGDQ that I've been able to donate to. And it's great to see people wrecking a game that I had to abandon because of the Tarzan level. Put this towards whatever the guy in the cool white beanie hat wants. We have $55 from Gin Lord. Hey guys, I can actually say hearing Aladdin's song in an event against cancer sent shivers down my spine. Great to see a KH1 run again at a GDQ. Good job and good luck with the rest. We have $10 from Not So Newbie. It was great to meet the whole KH community at SGDQ. Hope to see you guys again this year. Good luck, Zetris.
Yo, shouts to Newbie. Love you, buddy.
We have $50 from Pun. Never really looked at much speedrunning before. Suffice to say, my mind is blown. You're doing a wonderful job for a wonderful cause. Keep up a great run, Zetris. We have $20 from Burger Billy. This is my 4th GDQ that I've watched and my first time donating. Kingdom Hearts 1 was the first game I truly fell in love with. In fact, I cried at the ending when I was 12 years old after I finished the game for the first time. No shame. The same thing happened 4 years later when Kingdom 1 was released. Anyway, what all of you are doing is absolutely amazing, incredibly entertaining, and all for a very good cause. Let's kick cancer in the butt. Hashtag kill the animals. It's faster. We have $22.50 from Mr. Hattie Boy. This money is well deserved. Money goes to Runner's Choice. We have $20 from Kilclee. It's awesome seeing this run at AGDQ after watching it on Spike's stream so often. Donation goes to Spike's Choice.
Looks a lot better this time, doesn't it?
So right now he's going to Merlin's house from the waterway, and he is going to pick up the final summon of the game, which will be Mushu, who is going to be a great ally in the last few major boss fights of the game.
Just trying to think about the layout of Traverse Town. It doesn't make sense and makes my head hurt.
Gliding here might seem kind of slow, but the amount of time that it takes to like jump on each rock actually slows you down enough to where just doing a straight glide over the whole thing is better. And it's obviously safer than potentially missing a roll off of one of the rocks onto another rock and falling in the water.
There was a time we thought warping out was actually faster too.
Yeah, I think it saves like 4 seconds just actually going back through the town because the load times are so slow.
So now we're going to do one final gummy menu as soon as we walk out of the town. And Zetris and I agree it's the scariest gummy mission because now we're going to be going extremely fast and basically like plowing through everything, and we don't want to actually hit anything because we can die in either 1 to 3 hits. So it's pretty easy to die on this gummy mission.
An interesting thing about this gummy mission is that you actually don't have to complete it completely. You can just get to, I believe it's the 4th screen of the gummy, and then you can actually just quit out of it, and you can just warp drive to Hollow Bastion straight from there.
I do think this ends up being the most terrifying gummy mission actually at this point, because now with both the Haste 2G and the Flare G, we're going to be going really, really fast. And there's a lot of things coming at you. I don't think there's anything in this mission that can one-shot you, but everything can two-shot you. 2 or 3 shot you. So he needs to look out for if you blow up the boulders, you can get little health orbs from them.
I think the big enemies at the beginning here can one-shot you, but it's pretty hard to ram into them because they're all off in the corner there.
Yeah, that part always looks scary, but yeah, going through the boulders there, most of the time you're going to get health drops. Now he's got to survive.
This is a scary part for me.
I don't think there's one spot you could stay in at all.
No, you have to move around on this screen.
Yeah, enemies tend to follow you sometimes, and you don't want to crash into them.
God, his face.
That was definitely the scariest part. Now you can just feel free to boost all over the place. You can take a little safer and just like hold up on your boosts in certain spots, but obviously we want to go fast.
So at this point, he's pretty much safe.
Nice.
So he just quit out of the gummy mission, and it's still completed.
Bloody said it. He was like, I actually had to practice that gummy mission to make sure it didn't kill me.
Weren't you the one that found that because you died in like that gummy mission originally?
I died in that not because I was looking for anything, because I'm very, very bad at video games. And I found out, wow, okay, it doesn't actually need you to go all the way through. You just go like halfway through and it says, it's good enough. Just warp to it.
Unfortunately, that's the only one.
Sorry. So we're actually going to take Beast with us through this trip, and it's particularly for one fight. I say one fight, there's only one fight here. But yeah, hopefully if he's nice, he can just go Super Saiyan and blow everything up. So we're going to take that chance.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter who you bring to the behemoth fight, but the elevator fight, some nasty things can happen if you aren't prepared for it. Also here, we are grabbing a Mega Elixir, and the reason we didn't do it the first time is because the cycles with the moving platforms actually lines up better on the second visit, so that we waste less time.
So we're coming up on the second unskippable cutscene, right?
Yes, the second of 4 total. Actually, all 3 of the other ones are going to be in this world. Our theory on it is that, obviously based off of the original Final Mix, it was, you couldn't skip cutscenes until you saw them once. Well, this, along with the other 2, it's impossible to see them a second time because they don't come before a fight. So I don't know, my guess at least is just when they were programming it to be able to skip it from the start, they just missed these cutscenes. Because obviously there's, tons and tons, probably hundreds of cutscenes that come, when you cannot see them a second time. You're not going to die.
You could actually skip the trigger here if you go too high up the stairs too, and that would actually push the trigger easily to the other side too. All right, you would probably go back down the stairs and up, but that's weird.
But thankfully, all 3 of these cutscenes in Hollow Bastion 2 are pretty darn short. Like, this is the whole thing. Oh. Brr.
So the reason we come here is for the Divine Rose Keyblade, which is our pretty much end game Keyblade. It's very strong in FM, and we choose it over Oblivion because it just outclasses Oblivion in 1FM by a lot. So it's worth watching this cutscene in Proud Mode to... We just need the strength. If we skip this, end game will be a living nightmare and very slow. Also, we will be also using Dumbo again in this visit to once again skip a fight. Technically, if we did the fight the first time, we wouldn't have to do it this visit, but since we skipped it the first time, it's still there, the switch that we have to push, so Dumbo's required here the second time.
Anybody want to explain how this despawn works?
Mist can explain.
He goes places, he avoids enemies.
Good.
Yeah, basically lures the enemies towards the party members, and this is usually what happens. is only
Unfortunately,
one.
this guy control, yeah.
And he can kill you quite easily.
Well, enough gravities can despawn him, so it's not a big deal. Oh, never mind.
Well,
Decided to stick around. Making me a liar.
there we go.
Just gave up.
I appreciate the half second you wasted just going, I hate you. Air soldiers are one of the 2 or 3 absolute worst enemies in this game. Very, very frustrating. And they hit like tanks. They can 2-shot you as well and home on you. Or home in on you.
So the elevator fight this time around is a little bit more difficult because now we have 2 air soldiers, 2 yellow operas, and a wizard dude.
If Beast is nice, he can kind of obliterate them, but he's not always nice.
Hope he goes Super Saiyan.
So the arrow is definitely for safety here, so we don't get 2-shotted.
Beast. Beast, please.
Beast.
Beast.
He has an attack that he's...
I don't think he's hitting anything.
There we go.
There it is.
He killed some of them.
If he opens with it, so much stuff dies.
That was decent still,
So,
considering the Beast
Zetris
one.
worked with what he had.
So he's presetting the Dumbo summon here because you don't want to start moving and then try to summon Dumbo without being already set on him in the menu, because then you might just summon Mushu by mistake. Presetting magic menu items and summons is actually really useful in this game.
Yeah, it's a way of effectively getting a 4th. You only have 3 hotkey slots for your magic, and it effectively gives you a 4th one just because you can move down once and then spam circle in this case twice and get to use that other magic.
This visit's a lot faster since we don't have to do really any puzzles or anything. We're just going straight up. No accessories to grab. And only 2 fights. So this works exactly the same, but it's a little bit scarier because the wyverns will usually catch up to you here.
Soldier.
I tried.
Good job.
Oh,
Almost spoke too soon.
that was very dangerous to be in the air there because you lose your iframes from getting hit if you're hit in the air. So he could have landed into like a death. And now we have the behemoth fight, and You'll be seeing them handled differently after this one, but this one is what we kind of considered called a boss, I guess, compared to the others. So gravity just doesn't work on it as effectively as the others, so we kind of just have to rely on ours the whole time to have a fast fight. But it's random what pattern the behemoth does, so sometimes it's really fast and sometimes you can just troll and waste time.
To note, the Oblivion Keyblade was actually in that room, but it's not useful enough in 1.5. Divine Rose got too much of a buff.
Yeah, Divine Rose is ridiculously strong in this version.
As you can see, it's just tearing through him. Because for this point in the game, this is a lot of HP to see.
Yeah, this is, I think, yeah, this is the first fight in the run that we're actually hitting the damage cap now. So every boss has a damage cap where strength just stops affecting it at a certain point. And for Proud Mode, Behemoth is the first fight where we see that.
Him throwing out that R's right there, because you saw him kind of rearing up, if he didn't use the R's, he wouldn't have had iframes, and he would have taken a lot of damage from that.
This boss hits extremely hard.
Also, those are really tight, actually dodging away from that lightning. It just takes really good timing.
I gotta play it safe.
Zetris doesn't know what safe means.
Good fight.
So there we got the Omega Arts accessory, which will be going on right away. Very strong accessory to have.
Yeah, what are the notable stats on it other than the +3 strength? It's also +3 defense, I believe.
And plus,
It gives more HP. It's just all around. It's the best accessory we're going to get. So with that, these are actually our other two unskippable cutscenes. Not this text right here. We don't count that. And then after that, we will have one more gummy mission, and we are on to the final dungeon of the game, the end of the world, which is pretty hectic. A lot of stuff's going to be going on, wall-to-wall fights. So let's go ahead and get in a couple more donations.
Yeah, definitely. We have $30 from Anonymous. Love watching AGDQ every year, and the Kingdom Hearts runs and Final Fantasy runs make me so happy to see sections I struggled with destroyed. Also, it took me an hour to realize there was someone seated behind Zetris. Donation goes to the guy in the red jumper's choice.
Told you sucks for Cecil.
We have $50 from Melon. Had to donate to such a great cause during one of my favorite games of all time. Put this towards saving or killing the animals. Couch's choice. We have $50 from Queeky Bear. This is my second live GDQ, but the first time I was able to see Kingdom Hearts and donate. I love what y'all do. Keep up the awesome work, defeat cancer, save the animals. We have $75 from Rygor. Almost forgot AGDQ was happening this week. So glad I didn't miss much. Happy to donate during Kingdom Hearts, a game that was the catalyst for meeting the best friend I've ever had. Keep up the amazing work, guys. And hey, if you guys want to get more donations in, even if you can't donate yourself, if you want to get more people watching us so we can get more donations, whenever you're using social media, make sure you're using the hashtag AGDQ2016.
So here, I actually forget. Is this just the Omega Arts in this equip?
No, there's much more.
Yeah, this is a pretty big menu, honestly.
Oh, it is? Okay.
He
I'm
puts
mixing up
on
all the
Omega
different
Arts. I'm going to just react to him. So he gives a Goofy Ray of Light for more MP. He equips Hurricane Blast on Sora, and Cheer on... He's too fast.
Okay, so it's a little more than one thing.
Yeah,
Yes,
for
there's a
Goofy,
lot.
I was giving him MP Gift, MP Rage, and Second Chance. MP Gift is basically an ability where he'll throw me MP whenever I'm low. MP Rage, he'll get MP if he gets hit, and Second Chance makes it to where he can tank hits and live at 1 health. So, that's nice.
Yeah, MP Gift was pretty commonly considered the most broken ability of KH1, because in this game you at least have, Goofy has to give up 2 MP to give you 3. In KH1 he only had to give up 1. So you could just get infinite MP. You could throw out a million Rs, fires, whatever you kind of wanted to do. So yeah.
This is scary, by the way.
Yeah, this is another really scary. There's one screen in particular on this last scouting mission. It's actually a relatively quick one, but yeah, coming up here in a few seconds. This is a little intimidating. All of these one-shot you.
And he's kind of just like luring them because they track. This is risky. Like, that's insane.
Oh, this guy.
We did it.
Yay. Deathless gummy missions. Yay.
So we're entering the final world, and for some bizarre reason, there isn't immediately a cutscene upon entry. You just move, which is pretty bizarre. And then we are introduced to one of the worst enemies in the game, which are called Invisibles. Basically, they're enemies that are extremely mobile and can fly all around. They have their own desperation move in which they're invincible and can attack you.
And they have so much health.
So much health. Yeah, and they're always in groups too.
They're basically like little mini bosses.
Yeah.
You have to fight groups of them at a time.
Yeah, 4 of them.
And they two-shot us without ours.
The arrow.
Or, sorry, arrow, yeah.
And none of them followed you.
Yeah, only one went to the corner.
And that's
you have
DM,
2 DMs. This is
okay.
like the worst opening he could have possibly hoped for. Stop is really good on them, but Stop uses up 2 MP.
And you can stop them in animations where they can't be hit.
The scary thing is Arrow is probably going to run out before the end of this fight.
Yeah, so Arrow has a timer based on your max MP. Since he only has 6, it really doesn't last too long. It's like 20-something seconds.
Yeah, this is inherently the problem with Sword Route. We have to do it because we get so much strength in the early game, but the great thing about Staff Route is you have a lot of MP to work with at this point.
And on level 1 runs, you would have a Keyblade that gives you a ton of MP here, so it'd be a little bit more manageable as well.
Well, not to mention, on level 1, EXP Zero has weird properties in that fight.
Yeah.
Where you can actually survive, like, 3 hits before needing to heal.
So in case it's not obvious, there's a set path Zetris has to take here. He's not just like wandering around randomly.
Just follow the arrows.
I never realized those were arrows.
No, I didn't either. It's the rocks to me, but no, they're arrows.
He does very specific combos on these that guarantee a kill. And if Goofy plays along... Okay,
there we go.
Then
Goofy played along. Yeah, just... There we go. Good fight. So Goofy isn't the brightest.
I mean, he's staring directly at Sora for some reason.
So he doesn't, he tries his best, but he doesn't always know when you need MP. He's doing what he can. It's not good enough.
We're just blowing through cottages right now because it's so useful to have full MP on both Sora and Goofy because MP gift is so invaluable here. And there's another free cottage he just picked up.
Yeah, so far we've used 2 of those cottages, and now we're down to 2 more after picking that one up. He also picked up an elixir right after that last Angel Stars fight. Again, elixirs are very useful. And now we get a fight with the Archbehemoth, 1 of 2.
This time gravity does work on it, as you can see, but we only use it for so long because eventually ours will outclass it in damage once we get it low enough.
Yeah, since he has so much health, gravity just shreds through it.
Casually, people probably have a lot of trouble staying on the back, but yeah, you can kind of just jump right back on him without even falling off when he does that move.
The way you can tell if this fight is good is if he's able to kill him before he's able to, not right here, but get him right up here at the top.
Yeah.
And it looks like he's going to be able to get him. Very nice. Perfect fight. Aw, no Omega Arts. There's a 10% chance that you can get an Omega Arts drop there. I keep forgetting
I think it's
like
5%.
Oh, it's 5%? Dang.
It's really low.
If it has any usage at all in Proud?
No.
Yeah,
we need
it to Goofy maybe. That's it.
Yeah.
Right. It's very negligible, but you'd think for us saying the Omega Arts is probably the best accessory in the game we have access to in these runs, you think, well, throw on a second one. It's actually not as worth it because of a couple of reasons. Particularly the Raven's Claw that we got after we beat Anti-Sora actually gives you darkness resistance, which is really helpful for all the late game fights, especially the Ansem fights. So having that resistance is good as opposed to having the one more strength.
So we said Divine Rose was our endgame Keyblade, but here we are with Oathkeeper. And the reason for that is right now we want a ton of MP. And the reason for that is we're about to use a summon. And specifically Simba, as we said earlier, his strength is tied to the amount of MP you have. And because of that, we can plow through the next fight we're going to be forced to do. I don't know if Miss or someone wants to explain why we have to do these couple fights here.
Okay, so throughout the entire game, we were completing worlds, but there were 2 particular worlds, well, I guess 3 actually, that we didn't go into, and this is the first terminal right here, which is Olympus Coliseum. If you have not sealed the keyhole to the specific world, then you must go through the terminal that is in End of the World in order to progress.
So he did the pause there once again to make sure the enemies, this is very kind of strict. We want to stagger them with 2 ticks. There's like ticks that charge up.
Yeah, look at the Endosaurus Keyblade.
Yeah, watch how close this is with the enemies. They kind of just, they were slow that
Sometimes
time.
they take the time.
Sometimes
They
they
were ready
dash
to
at
go,
you.
though.
But yeah, we're basically one-shotting them.
And again, this is only working because of the MP he has and the cheers he has on Donald and Goofy.
This is what we were talking about much earlier, where a lot of people didn't quite understand how Simba worked. But your summons and your magic are more powerful based on having more MP. It actually gets a little confusing in some of the text in the game. It just says, powers up your magic.
The
But
game
it
doesn't convey it well.
Yeah. It's because it gave you more MP, not because it inherently made your magic stronger. And Bloody Biscuits actually found, this fight used to be stupid, I'm proud here. Bloody here actually found, yeah, with the Oathkeeper and everything on, Fire's better.
Fire's is pretty good.
All right, there's one phase.
Gravity is also great.
Yeah, gravity's good here.
A lot of fire spam.
All right,
But
sick.
He doesn't want to walk out too fast because he can go out right now, but you have to wait for the flash or else you'll have to redo the fight.
Fire spam underwater. What is that?
Yeah, and another element to that fight that you're not seeing if you haven't played this game is that the kind of squid-like enemies, the Heartless in the first 3 fight, if you get them too low on health and then you don't one-shot them from a certain health, they will actually split into 2 smaller versions of themselves, and that wastes a lot of time. So 5 Firagas there will just kill each of them. And 100 Acre Wood made an appearance in the run.
Hardest terminal.
See ya.
So now we're switching back to our strength setup because Invisibles, we definitely need the strength here with gravity to get through. This is a very annoying fight because you can actually get pushed into the portal and have to redo whatever didn't die. And that's on top of Invisibles being Invisibles.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
Wow.
Goofy,
nice
please.
stuff.
yeah.
Thank you.
Goofy is just not helping.
He just. Goofy.
Oh, no. Fortunately, the other one DM'd, so it's a little bit out of the way at the moment.
And that attack is easy to dodge, but if the fight gets hectic, you might not see it coming. And it can really
And
hurt.
as you can see, without arrow, you take a ton of damage from just one attack.
Nice crits.
Yo, is that? Oh, no, that's a high potion. Thank you, friend.
You got the level up too. That's good.
That's
Yeah.
really rare, actually.
I can actually explain why you got it. Beast, when you were in HP 2, he blew up some soldiers for you.
Oh, okay.
So that level up gave him an extra accessory
Okay.
slot.
So
Whoops.
here's another
Almost
instance
whoops.
of EXP 0. Chernobog is normally a pretty brutal fight, casually. But since we have Ifrit's Bell to reduce fire resistance and EXP 0 strat, the fight will speak for itself.
Yeah, I want to remind people that this is not because of Mushu. He's getting off that finisher in order to store the multiplier from it, and that will now be applied Think of it as like the power crouch staff from Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask. That will now be applied to all of your magic spells and all of your summons afterwards. Normally, this is very pew, 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 pew with Mushu. But because we're doing EXP0, it does more like this. What skill?
Yeah.
Little fact, if you go to the bottom of the volcano at the end of that fight, you'll spawn like right inside there. Otherwise, that can happen.
I appreciated the swag of standing on him, though.
Yeah, worth it.
Right there, he took back off EXP0 for these last few mob fights. Re-equipped. What did he do? He put on Super Glide, which is going to allow him to go real fast like this.
And then switch back to the strength setup.
Right. Yeah, basically think of this having, he's got a fighter setup and a mage setup for Sora.
Yeah, that's the best way to look at it. Because the behemoth, we want to plow through him with R's and gravity.
And what's great about getting that extra strength increase, the level up on the final invisibles, is now he's going to be able to in a much less tight fashion, kill this boss very quickly before he's able to get back up. You see him just shredding through his health bar at this strength.
So once he, this is the hardest mob fight of the game easily. Once he kills this behemoth, we can't walk out or anything to save progress, or else we have to fight him again. He has to set up this little chance he has here to open the menu when the fight ends. And he has to set up for the mage setup so that we have a ton of MP so we can use Simba strats to one-shot everything. However, we don't have enough to be able to do everything with Simba. We have to go through 2 waves, and one involves 6 invisibles, which is a nightmare. It's very, I don't want to say common to die here on Proud, but it happens every now and then really easily, because you can get overwhelmed depending on how good your stop is on them. These guys die to 2 fires, so they're pretty simple. And Zetris wants to make sure here when these spawn that everything's all set up.
6 invisibles. So we stopped 3 of them there.
Sometimes you might only stop like 1 if you're really unlucky.
Yeah, so this is about average.
Got another one stopped. It's good.
And, you know, Goofy's supposed
Goofy
to be
is
giving
really-
you stuff here, but...
Really
I think
good.
we somehow broke Goofy.
Maybe you heard me insulting him. Sorry, Goofy. Okay, Donald arrowed you. That's nice.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, we got both of them. Okay, so now he has to be a little careful. Oh, no, there's still one more. I thought
Yeah.
they were the last 2.
Yeah, we don't want to kill all
be
of them.
careful here. Donald and Goofy both need to be alive for him to summon Simba right at this point.
If he didn't summon Simba right then and there, he would not be able to do this. So we have to be able to make sure our party members are alive on the last invisible and that we have enough MP to summon Simba. It is very easy to lose a run. There's just so many things you have to pay attention to in the fight with the enemies and items and all that stuff.
On Proud, if you're not able to get this up fast enough, we'll see. It is basically impossible to recover from.
All right.
Very nice.
We should be in the clear
We
now.
should be in the clear. Weird things can happen.
Simba just absolutely wrecks these waves.
Yeah, casually going through all these on Proud is not very fun and eats up a lot of items and such, but...
Now, to note, we've been talking about how powerful a lot of the summons are. Oh, I was letting him make sure he got this. He actually holds it an extra second there just to make sure a stray invisible doesn't spawn. So that was really good. Let's go ahead. Yeah.
It's a really tense fight.
That is debatably the most terrifying part of the run, because you have to go all the way back to before that 3rd behemoth fight.
It's definitely the most terrifying non-boss for sure.
One more Mega Elixir there.
This
Here-
is a simple menu. It's just we're basically going to have EXP0 on for the rest of the game because the way the hidden properties with damage storage work will help us get through a couple fights way easier with Mushu. Unfortunately, we can't use it on every boss because we either can't use the summon, or actually that's probably generally the only reason. We can't use the summon in every fight now.
Yeah, to use summons, you need both of your party members with you, so in the final fights you get separated, and so you can't use summons anymore.
There is an alternative usage of EXP0 that you'll be seeing in one of the fights. We'll get to that when we get there, but yeah, for this fight, it's once again, he needs to get off an aerial combo. He also, in addition to putting EXP0 on, he took Hurricane Blast off, because for whatever reason, Hurricane Blast just screws up EXP0. It does not work.
Which is unfortunate, because it could be useful in some of the mob fights later on.
Now, you might sit here and think this fight is free. It actually, he has what we lovingly, I guess we'll say, called cheater discs that, yeah, do like 75% damage.
But he was nice and did
So
that
if he's
right
nice, he won't use them, but he's using them. Zetris has learned how to dodge
No
them.
fear, yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we can't do this on the second Ansem fight because no party members, so we have to...
Also, to note, EXP0, the damage storage doesn't work on normal mobs. It only works on bosses. So, yeah.
So here, this is our final menu. He's equipping all his elixirs and mega elixirs and giving Goofy one, or yeah, he only has one because he had to use one on final rest.
Now switching back to the fighter setup.
And he's giving Goofy Royal Crown, so now he, as you'll see in a second, will have a ton of MP, which is more potential MP gifts.
Well, it would be, but so far Goofy's been pretty uncooperative.
And again, that is our final menu.
Yep, so if you forget anything and get past Ansem 2, you're kind of screwed.
There's a quick kill you can do here before he lifts up his hand, but it's pretty precise.
Yeah! Okay, Zetris needs some serious time.
Dude, the Hail Mary.
That was like intense focus. This is another fight casualty people struggle with a lot. Ansem's very dangerous here. What he's doing there is staggering him again, because after he does the Guardian move, there's a certain amount of frames where you can actually stagger him again. Ooh. He can work with this, but it's very difficult. As you saw, he almost got one-shotted by that move. So he was able to pull it off.
Oh my goodness.
He's dancing.
All right, so he has pushed him past one of his DM phase barriers. He's got one more here.
No way.
No.
Yes! Yeah! My boy!
The DM skip on Proud is very difficult to
It was
get.
all worth it, dude.
The only downside is he had to waste an item to survive that fight, so now he's down an item here, but we do have it somewhat routed that we can manage. It's just a little scarier.
But yeah, that's incredible to get on Proud mode. Absolutely incredible.
Especially considering he got submitted and
Yeah.
he pulled that clutch.
Most people would have
swing.
died.
I
to
would have
that.
one
died
combo.
instantly.
Okay, so we, obviously, like I said, things do not slow down here. We're right into Ansem 3. This is another usage of EXP0, is that he got in that one aerial finisher, and now he's spamming Firaga. And you see, it's doing a lot more damage than you're used to Firaga doing when you played the game casually. And that's because of EXP0. This fight used to be debatably the most terrifying fight in the game. And it's not exactly, I mean, it can be scary right at the end. But Firaga obviously doing its part. He's having to fly away here because you can see Ansem is spawning 3 little enemies. He flew far enough away just so right there they despawned. You don't want them flying around in this fight, otherwise you're pretty screwed.
They'll kill you pretty fast.
It's also
between
important to note that you don't want to go past 2.5 bars of HP, otherwise he will just go strictly into his DM.
Yeah, so we're basically stalling the DM phase so that we can get a ton of damage and try to kill him, because if you've ever done this fight casually, the lasers are a nightmare later on in the fight, and they will shred you up.
So he managed to push the laser phase to as far back as it can be and kill him before he even started it.
Very
That's
nice.
amazing. Great fight.
And again, right here, right there, even after he kills the fight, he's still working on the next fight. He's just attacking the boss just to build up more MP so he can then use R's on this fight. Unfortunately, Sora kind of goes wherever he wants, and the Shadows do whatever they want. So the Shadows still trolling even 3 hours into the run.
Auto target is very hard to work with in this game. It will target the worst things so that you do aerial combos when you want to do ground.
All things
All right,
considered,
so he
that
worked
wasn't
with
bad.
it.
You got a bunch of Mega Potions from that, though, which actually could help him.
I'll throw one now, just not to have too many items.
Yeah, because we can actually get Mega Ethers pretty soon, or even Elixirs, so those are definitely better. But he can now have a Mega Potion for the very last fight, so he doesn't have to use anything like a Mega Elixir.
This is one of the worst parts of the whole final fights. These guys are constantly attacking you, and they take very little damage.
You're surrounded by heat-seeking missiles and stuff.
Yeah.
And they do it, even with Arrow, they do a ton of damage.
Yeah, you can't really take more than 2 hits with Arrow up.
There's nothing that one-shots us in this run, but that swipe he's about to do, if you don't have Arrow up, it almost one-shots you. You barely survive it.
Also, you can clank on this thing.
It's awful.
It's... With these two as the last two, it shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, that was good.
Now for another one of the worst rooms in the game, the Dark Balls
It
room.
just keeps coming.
It relies on Goofy to give you MP for it to go well, and he has not been doing a
Three
good
words
job
you
of
never
that.
want to hear, rely on Goofy.
We did give him a Mega Elixir, so hopefully he'll put that to good use.
Uh-huh.
These blizzards are to bring them a little lower on health and to bait them over for now the beauty that is ours. Unfortunately, you can get interrupted, and Goofy can... Okay, he threw the Mega Elixir, which is good.
So now he's in a pretty good...
This is
There are like 20 Dark Balls in this room he's having to deal with right now.
Yeah, they're mostly gone now.
And he got a bonus Mega Ether, at least one, so... Item-wise, he's pretty much good on the run.
I think only one more over there? Could be 2. No, I think that's 1.
Okay.
Yeah, not bad.
Very nice.
So I want to say Zetris is going to go for the beginning R strat still here, which is absolutely terrifying on Proud, where you actually land on its head and use R's.
We'll do it once.
Go for it.
It's kind of a signature of his.
And we need Arrow up at all times, otherwise we get easily, pretty much almost one-shotted.
Yo, 2.
All right,
We're
this might-
greedy. Yo, 3. We super greedy.
All right.
It's time to leave.
You gotta bail.
I hate you so much. I just want you to know that.
So yeah, ours obviously has much higher damage output, but it's just terrifying.
Unfortunately, he doesn't have the ability to put up R's right now, so needs to hope he gets the MP back and doesn't get hit.
Yeah, had he not had to use the Elixir in the Ansem 2 fight, possibly he could have used one here. It's kind of player preference what you do with that 6th Elixir. From here, it's just kind of understanding the face's pattern.
Yeah, and it's a pretty simple one. It's you can get in a lot of damage in the middle of his attacks.
A lot of times you'll see him not using the finisher, and that's just because the finisher has really terrible recover time. And your regular 1-2s actually deal about as much as your finishers.
It's exactly as much, yeah.
Oh, it's exactly as much. And Bloody actually developed a strat here using Firaga, but it's a very new strat we haven't really implemented yet.
Now the other worst fight of the final boss segment's coming up now. Invisibles that are actually
This is
invisible.
actually the worst fight. If you
Worst
just
fight
had to
after worst fight.
rank the like 10 worst fights in the game, like
Half
6 of them
would
are
be here,
invisibles.
yeah.
Basically, they are all charging at you. He's going to want to get Arrow off right away and then stop these guys. And then he's going to gravity them and hope the others get caught in
And
it.
just hope all of them run into the wall.
Okay, Goofy helps before he dies.
All right, this is looking
Oh,
Oh,
my
beautiful.
goodness! So, the consequences of dying to that fight are severe. Because
you don't
if
realize how
die,
many minutes you can lose.
You can
Literal minutes. You
death
lose that.
cycle there forever because when you redo the fight after dying, the invisibles start basically on top of you. You don't have any time to set up Arrow or stop them. So it's really important and amazing that you got through that so quickly.
Fortunately, this thing dies to 3 gravities in a combo. Oh,
Yeah. The artilleryers.
In my PB, one of my 2 deaths is to this idiot. Don't do me. So he has 1 item left in his inventory, the Mega Elixir.
So now he has his party members back and can summon again.
So this is the final fight, so get ready on time. There's a couple of different variations to this strat. But the biggest thing is he needs to let these 5 sets of lasers just go by, just go in a circle, and then swoop in and get his damage storage, or his multiplier storage. So he's got it. He's gonna get in a little more damage here. Again, there's a lot of variations on how you can do this fight. Now he's just gonna land back here.
He's gonna wait it out. So Anson's doing an attack that that's supposed to pull you into a big explosion, but if you sit right here, you can see it's trying really hard to, but it just can't get you out of there.
The throwing of the Mega Elixir just makes sure that Donald and Goofy are alive, so again, you can use your summons. And now, get ready on time, because we got a little more pew 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 action for the end of the run. Get him, Eddie Murphy! If you need
All right.
and time.
Time.
Good job, man.
Thanks.
Probably have to quit now.
How quickly do you want to get into the?
Huh?
How quickly do you want to get into the Sephiroth? Like right now?
It's up to you. Do you have
Right.
something planned?
Not really.
No. Probably just reset now then.
Yeah.
So, everyone.
Want another time?
Sure.
Oh.
Pretty good.
So good.
So we met the incentive for the Sephiroth fight, and it's going to be attempted on level 1 by me, because I'm crazy.
So Sephiroth is like the super boss of this game.
Sorry for the sweaty controller.
I don't think you guys sounded excited enough for a level 1 Sephiroth fight.
Real quick, Biz, Zetris, can you guys swap? Biz is not very well on camera.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Apparently the whole time we didn't see you.
Oh, are you going to be able to? All right, we're good, So yeah, Sephiroth's the super boss, and doing it at level 1 is not quite easy. There's a lot of restrictions on level 1 that you can't do on regular Proud. For starters, you only have 3 item slots. Fortunately, because of the way EXP0 works, it takes 3 hits to kill me instead of 1 shot. And that will be a saving grace. We also don't get many abilities because we can't get any of the level up abilities. I don't know if Bloody wants to explain more.
Yeah. Basically, you don't have access to MP Rage, MP Haste, any of that stuff. You don't even have access to Scan at this point in the game, so you can't see Sephiroth's health the entire time. The good news is that EXP0 modifies the amount of damage that you can do. So he can use Diamond Dust, which only has 3 strength, and still do way more damage than like a level, I don't know, 50 Proud Mode file would be able to do. You can also, what you can also do is take more hits with EXP0. For whatever reason, they modify your defense and kind of give you like a once more second chance effect. So you get 3 shot in this fight, as opposed to like usually you would get 2 shot or even 1 shot if you're like low enough level on Proud Mode.
I believe this is the save. Yeah, so we want as much MP as possible because the Keyblade itself doesn't matter other than range. We want more MP. The strength output will be the same no matter what Keyblade we have on here.
All right, so he's got 3 items, dodge roll, strike raid, a ton of MP, and that's it.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Should be fun. The incentive is I don't have to win.
Oh.
So we're going straight into phase 1. The entire fight, the way this guy's, I guess, revenge value, he will, after 4 consecutive hits, he will disappear or just choose a move of his choice to attack with. Right there is probably the most notorious, where he'll just instantly use Fire Pillar, which is like impossible to get out of. He'll also teleport. But other than that, the first phase is pretty predictable. He really just walks around, uses sword swipes and Fire Pillar, and that's about it.
Yeah, basically whenever he does Fire Pillar, I can just use my damage iframes to heal for free. So I want to get hit twice by it if he does it.
Yeah, right here. He'll take the second hit on purpose. He'll have the iframes to not get hit by that sword slash. And then during the teleport, he just kind of has to make sure that he times his dodge roll to get the maximum amount of iframes to cover most of the options.
You have to get lucky to get out of that without getting it.
Now, every single time you get out of like that barrage of attacks, you always heal to make sure that you can take 2 hits. If you don't, then you can very easily just get 2 hit by the Fire Pillar, and there's nothing you can do except die. Or Strike Raid for safety. All right, now we're headed into the second phase. So it's the same thing with the hit counter, except this guy is running non-stop. He can also use Descend Heartless Angel, or what everybody thinks it says, Sin Harvest. But y'all, it's Descend Heartless Angel, okay? Listen to him. He can also use Octaslash at this point, which Biz will be using Strike Raid iframes to get through. At this point, you really have to be managing your MP as well as your items as optimally as possible. So there's Octaslash, and there's well, he'll be using Strike Raid. He always uses Descend Heartless Angel after an Octaslash, also.
Safety item now.
Thankfully, right there, when he'll kind of go through this phase of just running straight at you. He'll always run at you and then do that real quick swipe. So if you just do a low jump, you can get him.
Still very dangerous, though.
And you don't have Guard or Leaf Bracer or really anything to deal with Octaslash except for Strike Raid. All right, at this point, it looks like he's just going to be kind of looking for an opening. There we go.
He whiffs a lot.
Oh, yeah. Almost as bad as Roxas. Shoutouts to KH2.
I'm just going to tank the hit there.
There we go. Thank you, whiffing.
So I only have one more item I can use.
Yeah. He has one item to use, and I would estimate that he's very, very close to the third and final phase, so... Here we
There
go.
it is.
So this is the third phase. Now you can, if you are really well timed, all right. So what
I
you can
don't.
do... Yeah, there's like a small frame window where you can stun him to prevent this move from happening.
So this is a very scary phase.
Yeah. So these meteors just kind of constantly spin around, and then he shoots just this gigantic thing at you. You can dodge roll it, and it just kind of negates everything. Now, during the third phase, it gets even crazier. He's running around. Has dark orbs that are just kind of always exploding around, and he also has this like homing move where he just does that basically.
Dodge this.
It's dodge this. You can just call it that. Now, thankfully, the 4-hit like counter just constantly sometimes can make him do Descend Heartless Angel, so you can just loop him just like this if you just get incredibly lucky. Sometimes, though, he will throw out the fire pillar.
Now it gets scary.
Nice.
Nice. Really, that's the only way that you can deal with it, is either dodge rolling at the perfect time.
Got
or
Yeah!
Good fight. Nice.
First try every time.
Most of the time.
That's actually a really
Nice.
Wait, 527? That's the fastest I've ever done for
Dang.
that fight.
Wow.
World record.
Oh, I'm level 1. There you go.
Proof to the kids at home.
Oh. Do you have the save files on this one? You need a certain save file.
Oh, it should, yeah. You're just gonna have to scroll through them and we'll find
Okay.
them. It should be like an Aladdin's house save.
All right, so we have just a tiny bit of time here, so we're going to show you guys a cute little glitch exhibition. Just a small thing here, known as Glitch Grabba.
Go to the bottom. Oh,
No? Okay.
98, 98.
98? Oh, that's Aladdin.
All right, we're out of time then.
Oh, we are?
It was funny looking, don't worry. Thank you once again. Yeah, it was awesome.
Thank you guys so much.
We'll
it
do
was
it
really,
next
really nice
time.
to show this off.
All right, I don't know about you guys, but I thought that was pretty awesome. We have a ton of donations that we got in, but we had no time to get through all of them. There was way too much intense boss fights and all that to get to. So I'll try and get a few of them out while I can. Here we have, I lost it. Here we have $300 from Kronos FH. I got home just in time to catch the tag end of the Kingdom Hearts run. Here's to great game and a great charity. Good luck to all of the runners and Happy New Year to everyone. 300 towards Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, blindfolded. Should be a lot of fun. I agree, that one should be awesome. We have $50 from Ben B. This is my favorite game. Thanks for all your hard work, Zetris. AGDQ is going to help me through this hard work week. I'm dreaming of a whole new world where animals are living. We have $20 from Brosentia. Brosentia here. I know this bugs you a bit during the Disney block, but I'd go Daffy if I didn't say it. Zetris will emerge as the victor in this game if he's not a fuddy-duddy. Be sure you all tweety about this awesome run. I'll get Marvin on over to AGDQ in a couple days. See ya. And that one physically hurt to go through, so you're welcome, Brosentia. We have $20 from Zickery Dickory Doc. This is the third GDQ I've watched, and I'm hype as ever. I've always been fascinated, as it always baffles me that all of this goes to such a great cause. My grandfather was diagnosed with cancer in 2012, and he's still going strong to this day. Together, let's stop cancer in its tracks. Money goes to the couch's choice. And it's been a few hours since I mentioned all of our wonderful sponsors, so I'll give them all a quick plug right here. We're sponsored by World 9 Gaming, gave us a bunch of awesome stuff to use for our practice rooms and our stream, consoles, controllers, all the good stuff. We are sponsored by the Yeti. They made a whole bunch of awesome shirts, and I'm not sure how much, but a ton of their profits from those AGDQ shirts go towards the Prevent Cancer Foundation. You can see those shirts at theyetee.com. That's THEYETEE. We're sponsored by MagFest, Tokyo Attack, Something Artistic, and of course, this stream is being powered by Twitch.
Thank you very much to everyone who has continued to donate to this great cause. You are currently watching AGDQ 2016, brought to you by Twitch. And we are about to begin an interview with the runners for Kingdom Hearts, Zetris and Biscuit047. So go ahead, stay tuned.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to AGDQ 2016. We have a little adrenaline running through our body right now. That was a ton of fun. That's such an exciting yet terrifying run. Zetris, I just got to kick it over to you first after that run. Like I say, as someone who's run the category a lot, I know how scary it is the entire time. Are you up there? Were you nervous the entire time? What was kind of running through you at that point?
I'd have to say I was nervous before the run, but once I was into it, I felt pretty good about it, to be honest, yeah.
Was there any point, now you had the death a little earlier on, I know you're incredibly consistent. What was the feeling after you took the first death to Clayton there?
It was a little disappointing, but it didn't shake me too hard because I really couldn't have done anything in that situation. Again, the terrain was not the greatest, so
right.
I did what I could.
I think it's, in my opinion, and maybe I'm a little biased, it's going to become one of the top 5 or 10 highlights of the entire marathon, you getting the DM skip on Ansem 2. Mm-hmm. Tell me, again, I'm just going to keep sending you back to these surreal thoughts. Like, what was that like? Because we all went crazy.
Yeah, it's a really tough thing to get, especially on proud mode, and I just was so happy and excited that I could show that off after I got it. It was a little hard to set up, but it ended up working in the end.
Right. Acting like there's a setup to it. I mean, there is a setup to it, but having to once again deal with taking that initial hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting submitted. I want to kick it over to Biz real quick. So tell us a little bit about that Sephiroth fight and what was running through your head throughout the whole thing.
Well, apparently time-wise, that was my best.
5 minutes and try. I couldn't believe it when they had to have mistimed it. But it was an incredibly quick fight.
Yeah, I usually win the fight most of the time, but every now and then I do die because you don't have full control over that fight. So I was really happy to first try that. It's a really scary fight whenever he hits you even once, then 2 more and you're done. And he doesn't like let off of you in the other phases. He's always on top of you attacking.
Right. It's kind of become your history. A lot of people, it's interesting to me to always analyze where speedrunners come from, what their background is. And you actually did a lot of, not speedruns of Kingdom Hearts series, but you did challenge fights. What is it that you think that kind of draws you to doing those sorts of things? At least for a long time, that's been you.
I have a lot of fun learning fights really in depth and how to dodge and counter everything, and that kind of carries over to super boss fights where it's really interesting to learn how to deal with everything they have and counter it with minimal abilities and such.
I have one more question for both of you guys as we're getting set for Battle Block Theater. Just 2016 speedrun plans. More proud, or are we done?
I might do a little bit more proud, but I really want to work on Kingdom Hearts 1 Japanese, and then switch over to Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. I want to work on that quite a bit, actually.
All right.
I'm going to try to do more 1.5 proud and snag the record from this guy again.
All right, I like it. Nice.
And then 2FM crit probably again, because that's my favorite speedrun category.
Yeah. Well, we look forward to 2016. 2 incredibly talented speedrunners here. That was a lot of fun to watch. I'm actually going to, instead of ending the interview, we're going to kick it over to Sent here, and he's going to tell you guys a little bit about prizes. We're going to get real comfy.
Oh. Hey, Spike, how are you doing?
Doing good, bud. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Oh, that's what your knee feels like. All right, cool. All right.
So, are you excited for the Battle Block Theater run?
Oh, absolutely.
I certainly am too, especially because we happen to have this lovely scarf here donated to us directly from the Behemoth. It's got a great Behemoth-themed pattern on it, and it comes with a Hattie Hatterson keychain, which might be a little hard to see on camera. It's there it is.
It's adorable.
A donation of $10 minimum gets you into the drawing for the scarf and the keychain during Battle Block Theater, and we have a lot of really cool prizes coming up for the Indie Games block, which is going well into the morning tomorrow. People can always check out our prizes by going to gamesdonequick.com, following the links to the tracker at the bottom of the page, and clicking on prizes.
Yeah, as you can see, just displayed right here, we have tons of great prizes. We've got probably close to $200,000 already raised. It's been an incredibly successful marathon so far. Let's go ahead and kick it back over and get started with one of the most fun runs of AGDQ 2015 and give you its sequel. We're going to Battle Block Theater.
All right.
Before getting started, I would like to give a quick shout out to our